This is Corey, Jag, and Marco coming at you with Dodcast episode, I think 16 now, 17, it could be 18. And we've got, of course, back in action, your usual co-host, Tony Compton.
Glad to be back. Happy to be back. Sorry for the absence at the end of last season, but all good. Everything's great. We're a family again. We're all
DOD,
back.
baby.
Excited to get into season 3
Oh, yeah.
KTP action.
I forgot it was already season 3. Good lord, that's where we are at.
Yeah, I almost said season 2.
I know, right? It's
Season
like
3.
shit's just flying around on me all the time now.
It is. What a season 2 was though. My god.
Right, the big rivalry reborn again between Thunder and T3. We got the best of them this time. I never did a recap episode because it just felt weird for me to come on and be like, "Hey, I won."
I mean, I'll recap it for you. They got smoked. That's
They-
really all that you gotta
pretty
say.
much.
No, it was. I did look at the screenshots. I think the Railroad match looked a little closer than the Lennon.
Yeah,
Would
the
you agree with
Lennon.
that?
I think so. Yeah, the Railroad 2 match. It wasn't as close as like the 1 point or whatever, but it was still very up for grabs the whole time. And then the Lennon match just kind of was, I mean, we picked
was
Lennon
okay.
for a reason. Jules and Ryan Emo in there just doing their thing at apartments.
Looked like Dorito was having some
Yeah.
halves too.
Brian went off, of course. I didn't have to do anything because it's Lennon, so I just sat there and went like 12-9 or something. I don't even know.
Yeah, when the heavies and rifles are doing that, the snipers kind of just chilling at that point.
Right. There's
Playing
nothing to do.
cleanup.
I got
Yeah,
nothing.
You've been there before though.
Yeah, I check my phone while I'm playing, and I marvel at the scores that I'm seeing on the scoreboard. But they played well, I mean, it was Railroad 2 was the map that they needed to take. I think they knew heading into Lennon it was kind of favoring us, and we just had a good game plan for Railroad 2. And it worked out, and we got the win. Obviously, they've got the best of us basically every other match we've played them. So now we're all even.
I mean, they were 2-0 on Railroad maps going into that, so I could see why they would pick it.
Right, it was the right pick. You got to go with what history tells you, and in the end, it was our day. Really, is what with those two teams. It's like some days it's one team, some days it's the other team. Some days their guys are just all on fire and we can't kill them. Other days it's Toxinator and Jules. It was a good match though, as always, and I'm sure we'll be running into them multiple times again this season. Of course.
So, congrats to Thunder and congrats to T3 on second place.
Damn right.
Silver Price is Right came out on top, if I'm not
They
mistaken.
did. That was another crazy series too, with Price is Right and why did I just forget the name of their team?
Was it Love Me Not?
Love Me, Love Me Not. Yes, I wanted to say Skull. Yes, Love Me Not. Best of 3, won all 3 maps. Love Me Not, the only team to take any maps off Price is Right this season. Obviously did it on Solitude in the regular season, and they took Thunder in that best of 3 final. But Price is Right established their dominance once and for all with the third map of Harrington and won it out.
And I want to say Dilliard was huge from those screenshots, if I'm not mistaken. He looked like he was having a couple of huge matches. So.
He's a stud, man. I think that was like Price is Right's biggest addition that they had. All things being equal from the start of the season to the end, their roster looked really good for a silver team, but I think Dillard was what made them like the team to deal with.
Definitely probably the pickup of the year in silver, I would say.
Yeah,
team, as far as impact goes.
He's a god. Like, even scrimming against us, he usually drops bombs on us. He's very hard to play against. I know in the draft, he didn't like playing against me that day, but that was a rare day for me against Dillard.
Yeah, you took advantage. I must have caught him on an off day.
I did. And I was rifling, so I was really, like, playing overly aggressive compared to how I play when I'm sniping. So
who sniped in that draft?
We had Carpenter.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that then.
Yeah, so it was like when he died, I just got to pick up his sniper rifle and hold whatever spot I needed to.
That is your go-to when you're rifling it, especially on allies.
Oh yeah, I love getting that sniper rifle. Fuck the Garand.
And then I believe the silver lower winners was
CIS.
CIS.
Yeah.
And they beat
Fast Loris.
Fast Loris, that's right. So
that was another one.
There,
nobody saw that come. I mean, I said like I think they could do it if they've been practicing their ass off. And then the first map was Railroad 2. Stealth had like 115 kills, and they won by like it might as well have been Infinity. It was such a blowout. But then the second map comes and CIS come out and they win. It was very, very interesting that it got pushed to a third map at all. They came out flying on Lennon. Like, they smoked Fast Loris on Lennon, which, looking at the matchup, it was like, well, you kind of negate stealth. Like, he likes Lennon, but a sniper's still pretty limited on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially the new one, because the way the angles work out, like, you don't really have that ability to push long steps. You know, you can kind of push into swing, but it's a little bit more favorable with that new cage angle that they can get you out of there quicker. But no, CIS looked outstanding on it. Riley Staffer, Firo in particular, was insane in these finals. And then Harrington, they won as the third map. It was very, very close. I think they ended up winning by like a cap and a half, but it was within like 20 points for 37 minutes or something of that match. Super nuts.
Yeah, congrats to them. Definitely didn't see that coming.
No, that's like, I think the best story from last season was those guys.
Because, I mean, I think we even played them in their very first scrim
Yep.
on Harrington when they were like super raw. They were, why you guys made us at spawn? Why?
Yeah, what
It's
is
like, well,
that?
that's part of the game. We're not playing source buds.
That's what happens, guys.
And they came a long way from that.
They did. They, out of all the teams, probably put in the most hard work practicing to get from where they were then to winning their division in the end against a team that nobody thought they could possibly beat. It was like just a cool story that they even got there in their first season. And it's unfortunate that they're not, going to be able to defend the title this season. They're not playing anymore, but regardless, they'll always have that. Yeah, I was.
They left their mark, and I guess that's something to be proud of.
I was excited to see them with another season under their belts, but maybe they'll be back eventually. You never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
Well, that's really all I had for season 2, unless you had any closing thoughts.
No. Good season, everybody. Thank God we finally got one over. Yeah, it was. I think it was a marathon season, which is why this season it got toned down a lot.
Exactly, and that's a great segue into what we're doing this season, season 3, which is underway at the moment. We just had a preseason week, first preseason in KTP history.
Yeah,
cool.
A legendary week of preseason on a new map, no less.
On a new map by Steve Heisey, great map.
Yes, played really well.
It did, I thought, and let's just go ahead and knock out preseason.
Yeah,
talking about it. My thoughts on Sienna, I think, is with the majority, it's got a ton of potential. The Mirage cap is really fun.
Super
The
fun.
whole market side is really fun. The Solitude side needs a little work, and I think that seems to be the consensus, what everyone says.
Yeah.
It does feel hard to, like, get back in there as allies on the Solitude side when they have cars or a sniper holding those crazy angles on the cap, staring down the Z.
That big pillar.
You got to throw like a Hail Mary nade or basically just bait someone and try to get
pretty much
quick kills because it just seemed really hard to retake. And other than that, the only other thought I really had on it was the sewer connector. Didn't see a lot of play. I think I heard you talking about this too. I feel like if he shortened that up quite a bit, it made it a faster rotate somehow.
Yeah.
I think it would become a highway for action, if you will. Like there would be people flying through there.
I know that there was some talk about fixing that by moving, instead of it being like a meat locker kind of situation where it's more on Axis side, moving it to be in the middle of the bridge, kind of like there's like these.
That could be interesting.
Yeah, so it's like more of a neutral spot, and it's you're more encouraged to try to get in there and get out of there, rather than like, well, it's on the Axis side. You might be walking into a hornet's nest if you come out of there. Because there's these like 2 blue doors right in the center of that staircase side, and like if you go through it with the camera, it like leads straight into the street, so you can kind of make it more of a short route to get there and a quick rotate, like you said.
Yeah, and I think that'll just increase action. It'll speed things up on that Solitude side because it really felt like people were sending 4, even 5 sometimes, just trying to get to the spawn of the other team.
Oh yeah,
bypassing the Solitude cap.
It would get. I mean, I know that there was a scrim where, like, just to see if it would work, we did that. Where it was like Jared said, everybody go street, and you're able to just like fan out from there straight to every other route on the map. Like it's very strong in that regard.
Yeah, and I think we saw the teams that were abusing street in preseason were the teams that were winning by a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They knew to take full advantage of that little bit of a hitch in the design. Let's see here to show on the stream. what the hypothetical. I mean, I don't know all the changes because it's kind of a fluid situation, but this is where the new street entrance would hypothetically be in these like blue doors here. So it's like right down the center of the bridge area. And then hypothetically, instead of this whole thing over here, which is a little clunky, it'd be more like a Lennon well cap in the center so that it's like lined up, kind of condense everything so
A
that
little
it's
easier to contest.
yeah, like so it's like, not this whole thing you can just defend to the bitter
Yeah.
end with these crazy pillars and shit. So if it's more just like an open well cap in here, this wall gets pulled in a little bit, this arch area gets pulled in a little bit, and it makes it more of a straightforward route rather than like, I mean, you can get kind of lost over here.
Yeah, like what? Like this doesn't need to exist. I
No.
think, like,
Like this is where I was sniping from on allies a lot. Like good luck figuring out where I
yeah.
shot you from,
And you're not nading that
No,
from
good,
anywhere.
no chance. Yeah, you're just
So,
here.
and
Like,
these are just spots I think are bad for DoD
yes,
that are
yes,
that strong because people
right.
are just gonna abuse them nonstop, especially in a match that matters.
Oh
Not
yeah.
that preseason didn't matter, but
In a way, it didn't.
in a way it did.
And like people were just using. I know I did it multiple times. Where like if they didn't engage with me and they didn't realize I was here, I could just sit here and wait for them to get on the cap and kill both of them. Like, in theory it was a good idea, but in practicality it turned out to not be so good.
Yeah, it just ended up being extra OP-ness that we don't need in
Yeah.
that position. My only other gripe is the Mirage cap is so long. My God.
Yeah.
In scrims, I broke this by stepping off of it like 4 times.
Yep.
I was getting yelled at a lot.
It
So,
definitely needs to be toned down a little bit on the time.
I would bump it down a little bit,
And it's so easy to nade it, like, because this is, it's a null texture, so you can just
Mhm.
chuck a nade over top, bank it off of any of this shit, and it'll fly in here. So just cutting that time down a little bit would help. And I think this area was another area of potential change where the street entrance, rather than being like, you come out here and you just have this wide open thing, it would be more connected here. So, like, Banana comes out to the street entrance like that, and then you don't have this little area that you can prone in anymore.
Yeah, this area is pretty strong to play
Yeah.
behind.
Oh, yeah. Like, I got here as many times as I could during the match. Like, I was making a beeline for this spot. So I think that was the idea, like, kind of, rather than having this little clusterfuck situation here, this is gone. This new entrance that got made in the most recent one is gone, and, like, this gets connected to street. So it's more of a plaza route, and then you're more encouraged to go street, because it's not like you're just sending off on your own separate route. It's more like Anzio, where it's like a part of plaza.
That's definitely going to help slow the bars down, which I think is good.
Yeah, because they can really. I mean, I keep seeing it where the guys who are playing that spot are just constantly all over the spawn, getting
And I
3
mean, this
kills.
is the promised land. You get here with a car, you
Oh,
grab a
yeah.
car, and you're getting 4 kills.
Boom, boom, boom. Like just, or if you just even have a nade and you get this far, you can just throw it on over top, and you're likely to get at least 1 or 2 guys who are coming off the spawn. And
So
this needs to
Sorry,
go.
ahead. Oh, you don't like this?
Yeah,
Red
this is
Hall?
just too open. You
What
know,
about
like
down here, you like the garage area? You
yeah,
like
yeah.
this?
This is all fine. I think this just needs to be like even if there's just another entrance to it this way so that it's a little easier to clear, because as it is now, like you can get to this point and shoot a shot, and like then they're like, oh shit, they start spamming it, they haven't killed you, so they got to open the door, and then you're like all the way back down here,
Yeah.
and you
It's
got
pretty
this
strong, for sure.
sweet angle. Yeah,
Maybe a window that Axis can throw a nade in.
that would be the other thing. I think that would be perfect, just being able to clear them out without having to give yourself up so much.
So where did you end up? Did you, on this map, would you say it's allied sided?
I think, yeah. It seems like once you get pushed past stuff, Allied side, it's just like such a slippery slope where you're capping out with ease. Because there's so many high-powered spots to get pushed up at this flag. The bridge there. This spot is like a sniper's paradise. You can go this way, or even if you like go up here and get into this loft, you can just be like shooting shots here, run back in here, and then go down and up. And they'll never know that you did that. So they're taking their time.
I was pretty adamant on that it was super allied sided, but I did notice that teams were capping out on Axis a lot.
I think it's a little bit the way that the cap outs were going on Axis side, a lot of people weren't defending it fully. Like they were getting more caught up in just who's coming from market side. So like you were able to sneak over here,
Yeah,
throw a
this spot,
nade.
getting through here like as a heavy and just
Oh
catching two
yeah.
people off guard here is like a huge tide turner.
So good. Oh, this was another thing too that's getting changed. Is this is gonna get lowered, or I guess the ground's
Yeah, so
getting.
you can't just crouch there and be
Yeah,
invisible.
yeah,
Yeah,
because like
very
you can just
strong.
sit here. No chance anyone's gonna see you. You have to like. I think you can't see the guy there until you're like right here. So and you're already fully exposed to them.
This whole area is honestly a little just wonky. Like this
Yeah.
huge open area outside the allied spawn it just feels unnecessary almost.
Yeah, and it's so like lengthy, and I know that
Yeah,
there
there's
was this change that he made in the newest version. I don't know that anybody's actually played it, but he got rid of this
yeah.
entirely. And so he like blew it out and had it like over here now, so it's just like a big blown out area. It's not a drop spawn anymore. And then this has like a new angle that you can see into, and it just kind of made this whole area feel pointless, which I don't think it should be. Like, I think this, I know that I like getting to the spot and having the battles with guys here, like closer range, further range. It felt like a good spot as a sniper to get to and use that mid range advantage. So hopefully that'll be something that reverts back. I think that this area just got a little bit cluttered with this stuff here, and that's why people kind of didn't like it.
I mean, this whole, like I said, this whole right side it's just a little needs to be polished.
Yeah,
Really
exactly. Yeah, like it won't take too much. I don't think just a little things to change. Like I think there was talk about having the entrance to Z come out here instead of being like this, where it's like a nade funnel. Now, if you can come out this way and you can throw a nade straight onto if the cap was here, rather than it being like you come out, and then you're
suicide
peeking.
nade
Yeah,
from
that's
upstairs or
right.
something.
It's like all you got then. You got to give yourself up for it. And then I think there was potentially the idea of like this is lower loft, this is upper loft, and maybe there's like another window situation over here to get into to look straight on the sniper loft, because over here you kind of like only get this one window. So the sniper can just kind of hang out there and he doesn't have to peek you ever. I think that was another one. I don't know. It's been such a fluid situation that a lot of these changes could already be gone.
I agree, and I think I had one more question for you. What did you think about the scoring he had set up with I believe, a 60-point cap out?
Yeah, so I think that's like the new standard that they're trying out for this season is if a map has 2 double caps, cap outs are worth 60. If it has 1, they're worth 40.
Interesting. And what
Yeah.
about Shamil?
Shamil, I think Shamil's just 40.
Okay.
Just flat 40 still.
So 2 double caps, 60, everything else
40.
most likely 40.
Yeah, if I recall correctly. So like Thunder's 40, Anzio's 60, Harrington's 40, this is 60, shit like that. Because people were, I mean, it got that whole never-ending discussion of like,
Yeah.
this should be worth this, even though it's always been worth the same amount. So like, people wanted to try something new. So this is the most sensible way to do
the
it.
compromise.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it did feel like scores were very high.
Yes.
On this map because of that. Not that that's a big deal or even an issue at all. I just just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
I thought it was fine.
Oh yeah. I think it was very reflective of what was happening in the matches,
I do like seeing teamwork rewarded more.
Right, yeah.
Versus like, someone's got 50 kills but they lost by 100,
Yeah.
Not necessarily, that's not usually a good thing.
No.
But yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see how like Lennon and Anzio plays now.
Right, yeah, having that added 20 points to potentially work off of on a cap out on that map could be interesting. Obviously, Lennon gets capped on so much, like the scores are gonna look nuts.
And never forget, like, people I think forget that Lennon's config was so fucked up.
Yeah.
Axis were getting 4 points a tick for just their first flag.
Yep. And nobody noticed it.
And no one noticed for years and years. And that's how this all started with the whole don't fuck with the config.
Yeah.
That's because Tox and I were 1v1ing on Lennon, and he's like, how are you beating me by 150 points?
Yeah. Like, what is happening right now?
And then we started looking at the configs and we realized, holy shit, this doesn't seem right.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah, so that's, again, why the configs were all looked at, and it was not to fuck anyone over.
A conspiracy.
Not a conspiracy.
Contrary to popular belief.
It's actually, they were fucked. And
yeah.
That's one of the few things I could personally say I actually saw.
Right. Like, there's for sure not anything rotten in Denmark there. We promise. It was kind of like the whole wall shot thing, where like me and Jules were just 1v1ing, and we
Exactly.
realized
Yeah.
like, oh, we're not. I'm not walling you right
I'm
now.
shooting you with a car in the head through a wall, and you
Yeah.
took 5 damage.
Like, what is that? Total
That's wrong.
coincidence. So
And
yeah,
quick update on that. Admins and the community as a whole is still trying to find server options that aren't just NFO.
yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah,
we all would love to play on these 1,000 ticks, but you won't be able to wall people. So
yeah. It's like a
I don't know.
different game,
It really is, and at this point, I'm almost willing to just try it,
right? I
just to
mean,
see if the registration is that much better.
see, the thing to me that I keep going back to is like we were. So I don't remember exactly when it was that we realized that issue. I think it was early in season 1. So it was like 5 months that we were all playing on 1,000 tick servers
Oh
without
yeah,
the ability to wall. So like we were all playing on it as it was,
I
and
think
I
it
don't
was that
think.
Anzio week of season 1.
Yes, it was. You're right. So like, to me the difference is probably negligible. I mean, I don't know if there's anybody that was playing before that switch that was like, God, these servers are so good, the registration's so good, like this is the best DoD's ever regged or anything like that. So I mean, it might be better, like it has to be with the higher tick rate. I would expect, but I don't know enough about that topic to really say that for certain and be like, I guarantee it will or won't be better.
No, and I don't think anyone does.
Right.
There's been some tests done,
Yeah.
but nothing like long term.
Yeah. It's one of
And
those
especially
things.
seeing how like people in Europe play on them, or people in Brazil or South America play on them, like we haven't had any feedback on that. So,
Right.
and it's also like the Amazon Web Service servers are like very expensive compared to NFO. So that's
Really.
also a factor. Like you're spending more, and it may not even work.
Right.
So
Yeah. It is a
so
matter of weighing all the pros and cons and shit. And like, if there's somebody who wants to buy 1,000 tick and fuck around with it and like get some actual data on how much better or worse or the same it is, by all means do.
all
Something
right.
quantifiable.
That's really all I had for Sienna as a map. And I
Yeah.
guess, like I said, let's just get into season 3. Uh, Still focusing on preseason here, but I did want to notate how we do have a third division now.
Yes. We got the
We have
bronze
added
now.
the bronze division, and this is how it was explained to me, and you can tell me if I'm way off or accurate. So gold is your sweaties.
Oh yeah.
Silver is your pretty good at the game slash not that active slash people that are good but don't want to try.
Maybe
Uh,
just coming back.
Well, I kind of think bronze is kind of people just coming back
That's
that are
true
still
too.
getting their sea legs, but
Yeah.
bronze also seems like people that are just not that interested in playing more than a few times a week,
Yeah.
or
If that.
maybe they're some pubbers just trying to get a taste of the competitive scene.
Yep.
So that's what I was explained as how bronze is. Very laid back, very casual. Silver's kind of the middleman in between that and gold. So I don't know. You feel like that's a decent explanation of
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, you look at, and there's like some crossover there. Like you got Jetty, who is a lot of people just coming back. Like we just got, let's see, where's the roster? I'm curious who got on there. River Oyster just came
Nice.
back. John has been back a little bit. Steve hasn't really been playing until recently. Obviously Matt's been playing. Ian just got back. Serge just got back.
Never seen Busby.
No, Busby, I guess there's some dispute over whether he'll even want to really play, I guess, at this point. Same with Frank Kaliz.
So like the
Um,
reality is of that team, they have 3 people with KTP experience
yes.
and 2 with gold experience of
Yep.
1 season.
Yep.
So pretty much where they should be, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
right? Like it's kind of split in that regard.
And I could probably make an argument that they should be in bronze.
I know,
Really,
yeah.
like these
That's the
guys don't play a
thing.
lot, but they are, like you said, some big names.
Yeah, they're guys who they will get their sea legs back, and then they will be, they won't be playing like a silver team. They'll be gold players that are in silver at that point. It'll just, it takes everybody a couple months before they really get back to that point.
Yeah,
And you
once they
can
get some PT in them, they'll be fine.
exactly. And like there's some teams that you look at like Nice. Where's Nice? You got Die Life's a gold player. Dillard obviously didn't play in gold, but he's one of like the top 3 players in silver last season.
Yeah.
Same with Stealth is a gold, I would call Stealth, Dillard, and Die Life definite gold players.
I do think Dillard is not playing this season,
Oh, really?
for what it's worth.
Oh, well, that
I heard
helps.
he's taking a step back.
Okay, well, that helps them as a bronze team at
Yeah,
least, because if you have
because I
those
would
three,
almost say
whew,
that that team is almost ahead of Jetty if we're gonna
yeah.
go by that
Oh, they've
rating
been
system.
playing, and Nice has been winning most of the time. Like they
Yeah.
beat Jetty with me and Jules ringing for Jetty,
Oh, jeez.
which was like this team is in bronze. I was like, no, they're a silver team, right? And somebody's like, no, they're bronze, and I was like, they're not bronze, but they are. They're
Yeah,
bronze.
I would probably say they're a silver team, but I don't know the full details on how active they are.
Yeah, me
Seems like they're
neither.
active,
Right. So
but
it's one of those things.
yeah, it just depends who they're running out there.
Yeah, exactly. Their activity levels and all that. And, hopefully it doesn't end up being a situation where it's like, wow, everybody else in bronze just getting like fucked in the face because these guys are so much better. But,
Yeah,
I,
speaking of nice, they did win their preseason matchup on Sienna against Washed Up,
oh, yeah, that's right.
446 to
Oh,
161.
yeah.
So yeah, and I think we're not going to spend too much time on these preseason matches as we do normally, but
Yeah.
we did want to show everyone the scores here and take a quick look at the screenshots.
Right. I'll get the little screenies up there. There we go. So let's have a look. There we go. Oh, wait, that's something else entirely. I went way too far back.
Too far.
Wow. That's the
That's the
finals.
finals. That's
Okay,
icy hot.
yeah, that's a little early. There it is. Nice
There it
versus
is.
washed up.
And I
As you
think
can
Die
see.
Life had 80 frags this week.
Yes, he was the top
So
fragger, and I would say the MVP for bronze in that regard.
yeah,
44 on
44 with
Axis.
a car.
Damn.
And looking at this washed up team, this is not the washed up team we saw last year
Yeah, a little different
or
now.
last season. A little different.
No Arachnid, no Secretly.
Yeah.
You got Dark
Still
Knight.
got Bromley though. Still got
Yep.
ProStar.
War Within, still strong. Casino. And he looked pretty good from what I saw in that match. He looked a lot better already than he did when he came back last season.
That's good. I'm glad they were able to pick him up.
Right? And if he can be active, he's another guy who will be a gold player once he gets his shit back together. So
Look at Big Stamp almost breaking 30.
yeah.
He's coming along.
Right? As these guys keep playing and playing, like they'll just keep improving. Stamp and Twist as a heavy team have been playing together a lot for, a season plus now. So that chemistry will just keep building up.
And it looks like Dillard plays, so my insider information is
He definitely did play
destroyed.
this week, yes.
I do think going forward he's not playing as much, but
yeah.
that's all I got. Okay, well that was again nice blowing out washed up
4-4.
446 161.
Yeah, wow.
Next bronze matchup was Romario 11 with a forfeit win over Meowstar. I guess that was
CIS, yeah.
CIS bowing out.
Yeah, they are not playing. They don't want to do the Moss, and so they decided they didn't want in. So no more 6-team in bronze, which I think was the original idea, that there was a forfeit situation set up, and then a 6-team joined late. So now it just goes back to that previous format, which is fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's no harm, no foul then.
Yeah, exactly.
Last bronze match was the biggest blowout of the week. Flossed over We're Gonna Lose.
Oh, yeah.
Who is apparently named very properly here.
As they did lose.
They did indeed lose.
They called it.
See, they got Grim and
Pizza
my man
Hut?
Pizza Hut.
Yeah. Is that Skin Toe? SKN?
No way.
I'm curious.
I don't think so.
I wonder if I can
Yeah,
check the roster here. Where are they? Over here, SKN. I have no idea. It could be, but I don't know for sure.
I'll do a little search while you're looking, but I don't
Yeah.
think that is.
That would be very interesting if it was Skin Toe back in the DoD world. It's 3-sided quarter as well. Nuns. I mean, all these guys used to play. They're known quantities, not like invite players or anything. Grim, obviously, longtime player. Same with Softer Sin, his wife. And on Floss side, you got Bo, you got Fincher. Looks like Dillard rang.
Skin-toe.
It is Skin Toe. Wow, okay.
Skin-toe. I can't believe it.
Another known quantity there. That's cool. Good to see him back.
Glad he's back.
So that Floss team has some pretty good players on it there. Kingyo, Bo and Beluga both continuing to improve. Shifty, Prawn Star, Fincher. Like, that's a pretty good bronze team. That's what I would call a good bronze.
109 Shifty.
Hell yes.
I'm still waiting to see him out there. Did he play? Doesn't look like it.
Doesn't look like it, no. Unless he's the governor. I'm not sure who the governor
He might
is.
be the governor. I don't know.
What's his ping? The governor. 30. So it's not a euro.
That could have been him.
Could have been him. That could be Shifty. I'd believe he dropped at 40.
And they got Fincher on that team. He's a good player.
Yeah, oh yeah. And as he showed there, 38 and 18 with the STG. Jesus. Bo with
Very
28.
underrated heavy.
I'm not sure who Crimson is, but it looks like he's a rifle and a pretty good one. 28, or yeah, 32 on the car. Not bad at all. So
He's got a fairly low Steam ID, so he must be
old school.
old school.
He's an old hat. I'd love to know who it is. He's probably just Crimson, and it's somebody who, played all the time, but not that I didn't know. But yeah, that was a bit of a blowout. It's all right. Preseason, it doesn't technically count. It's fine.
They probably didn't get to see that much of the map.
Yeah,
so
they joined late as shit. Like they were the last team in the league and everything. So
luckily for them, the good maps are coming. We got Shamil. We got Solitude coming up. So get ready, buckle up, Buckaroo. All right, that's about it for bronze.
Where are the? There's one silver match that isn't getting played, which was the Jetty match in the Lads on Tour.
Lads on Tour did not get played. That was a Lads on Tour forfeit win.
It's 1-0. 1-0 for Lads on Tour.
Yeah, and I think that was just a scheduling conflict.
Yeah.
They just said, fuck it, we'll see you in the regular season.
Pretty much, which is fine. That's what preseason's there for. You get it out of your system.
We did have Clinic.
Oh, the return.
Fook boys.
Clinic back in silver, looking to defend that title from their undefeated season two seasons ago.
Back in silver, and it looks like they've picked up Element. Is that like an official roster ad, or is that a ringer?
I'm not sure.
Looks like that was a ringer.
Yeah, he's on Why So Serious, yeah. And Clinic is Tom, Sam, Suave, Carp, Mirison. It's basically the same team as last season.
It's the Clinic you know and love or hate, depending on who you are.
Just no Debo, so just less reason to hate.
So now they're back to the great, good old boys.
Right.
Love
the silver champs, baby. They had Grimring in 2, it looks like. Yeah, so they probably just had trouble getting 6 for the preseason, but played it out. Gall with a 45 on Axis.
Went crazy.
That's a guy who, in silver, this is what he can do. He can go off like this.
I gotta say about Gall, he had a lot of offers on the table.
Oh, yeah.
To join some higher tier teams, and he stuck it out with these guys, so...
He stuck with his boys. That is on their boys.
He just likes dropping bombs. I respect it.
They got DB sniping on his natural class now. He's not stuck heavy in, which he's had to do so many times in his career, I know. And he's showing it. Yeah, he like 55 kills sniping, looking great. Playing the class he wants to play. Carp has been continuing to be maybe the most underappreciated sniper in DOD.
Pretty much. I've been saying it for 3 seasons now.
Right? I mean, he's so good. Having gotten to play with him in the draft. Like, I play against him all the time, and he's one of those snipers who you hate to play against as a sniper. He's frustrating. And then when you're on the team, it just gives you a whole new perspective on how good he is. And that draft, going every route with him, basically, too. And it's just like, man, how come this guy doesn't get... Everyone always is like Nightmare and Patton and, Paul or whatever. And no Carpenter, even though Carpenter is consistently... showing how good he is.
Yeah, I think he's right outside that S tier.
Right, I think this is the season that he breaks in.
He's definitely underappreciated.
He is so good. I mean, watching his movie clips too, of course, which I extra appreciate. He just does crazy shit as a sniper, and you love to see it.
I mean, I know I was tilted because he just would not get out of that damn tower.
Yeah.
We couldn't do it.
Couldn't kill him. There's no killing him that day. When he's on, and that's what I think there was like that all-star match. He did the same thing too, where it was like he went like fucking 35 and 10 on Allied side Anzio. They just could not get him out of Plaza. Just locks it down. But yeah, Clinic with a pretty dominant win there over Fuckboys. I think Silver is the most interesting division right now. Just as far as like, yeah, it's very close. Anybody could end up taking the Silver title. Like Jetty right now getting their shit back together. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with once they're all back to the full swing of things. John, Steve, Matt. Obviously, Matt is fine. John is almost like fully 100%. Riv is going to be a big problem for people. There's not that many good heavies in DOD, and Riv is one.
If he gets it back sooner than later, yeah, that's going to be a tough Jetty team.
Right. Like him and Modgers as a heavy team in silver are going to be just shitting everywhere. Kellen, I mean, I watched Kellen play his first DoD scrim the other day in HLTV, and already he looked great. Like, his score, like the in-game IQ and stuff is still getting back, but like just the mechanics are still obviously there.
And
You'll
just the
see him.
natural aim.
Yeah.
Like, he's always had that.
Same in CS. It was the fucking second time he'd ever played CS:GO, and the guy has like better aim mechanics than most of the people I've played CS:GO with. It's weird. He's just a natural born killer.
Just a natural fragger.
Yeah. Ian, always been a good sniper. He's playing on a laptop still, I think, right now, but like he's just got back to DoD. He's still getting the swing of things. He'll be a problem for people. John and Steve been rifle buddies forever and ever. And of course, Saf, the third rifle from hell for a lot of people, especially on certain maps like Harrington. She can just dominate her route. They're such a good team. Clinic, the returning champs. No go, obviously, with like mostly players from the Silver Champs last season. And then Austin, who was, like a top 5 sniper in gold. I'm not sure who's sniping on that team, though, actually.
Yeah, it's they got. I mean, Blue Revolver's been kind of showing up some.
Really?
He's even scrimmed a little.
Oh,
So
shit.
there's a third sniper to
Wow.
throw in the barbecue sauce.
Right? They should just run, like, those guys take whatever gun they want, and then they cycle the sniper rifles, so
And
they got a
the
3-way.
good thing is, I think Recoil and both Namus are happy rifling.
Yeah, they
So
are, for
it's
sure.
it's a good problem to have in no go. I think.
Yeah, I'd say so. I don't
And
think
Dro
they'll have
likes to grab
problems.
that sniper.
Yeah,
Too.
and he can do it, man. He proved that last season multiple times over. When they needed him to snipe, he did it, and he did it well.
And speaking of no go, they did win their preseason match.
Oh, yeah.
Against Insomniac.
I got too deep onto whatever the fuck I was just about to talk about. Where
I
is
had to
it?
pull you back. I could see you going down that path.
I was. Oh, there it is. Yes, and that was the other team, Insomnia too, and Lads on Tour. But this is the match. So, final score was 417 to 324. So it's actually maybe the closest match that there was this week.
Yeah, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. Just a quick look at the scores.
Yeah.
Definitely the
I mean,
closest match of the week.
Insomnia, maybe the most active team in DoD right now, and again, guys who historically have been invite players in the game.
They didn't have Illusion in this one.
No Illusion, yeah. I think he was
So-
in my stream watching, and I was like, aren't you playing right now? But he wasn't in.
Obviously, a big piece missing for them.
Yeah. Sean was
but still,
dropping bombs.
Yeah, I think No Go proved that they're going to be trying pretty hard this season.
Yeah, look at
They're
that.
not going to be getting rolled like people thought.
No, and you got, Spoon, who was another one of like the top 5 players in Silver last season, Recoil and Bill Basad and Corey and Allen all won a championship. Austin, whatever class he's playing, is going to be great. Just a really well-oiled and balanced team there in No-Go, and Insomnia don't need to fucking hang their heads over that loss, because they're a team that I think if they all kind of hit their stride together, could absolutely end up just dominating everybody because of the players that they have.
They're going to be breaking late,
Yes.
much like CIS did last season.
Yep.
So be prepared for that.
Right.
Assuming they don't implode. I
Right,
think
that's-
they will.
yeah.
But that's always on the table with those high
Yeah.
octane personalities they got.
They might not mesh in the end, but it seems like they've managed to keep it together so far and be mostly supportive of one another and not have too much infighting. I know it can be frustrating first getting back too, like for guys like Gandhi and Sean and Illusion that like haven't been around, and then you're playing against people who in some cases you've never heard of, and they're just shitting on you at first, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, I used to shit on these guys. Takes a little bit of time, but then it will get there, and those guys will be doing the shitting again. So
Yeah.
that's a team to look out for sure.
It's definitely not the DoD you were playing when you were 18
No.
to 25.
It is
or whatever,
not.
23.
This game
Game's
is
changed
so
quite a
weird.
bit.
Yes, and in every fucking conceivable way. It's weird. But yeah,
But
so that was
I'm excited
big
to see
win.
what they do going forward.
Yeah. That was another team. Them and Lads on Tour were the other 2 teams in Silver that I'm like, they could definitely win the whole thing.
So who's your preseason pick while we're just in Silver?
I got to go with Jetty because, I played for Jetty and they beat me at a LAN final once. They're guys who have played together a lot. They've got that, like, that teamwork, balance, chemistry where if the chips are down, they're not going to fall apart. And that can be the most important thing in DoD in these days. So many close matches. We see it time and time again. Single-digit matches where the teams that are winning those matches are usually the teams that keep their composure. They don't get pissed. They don't bitch at each other. They're like, okay, we're down by 10. We got to do this and we got to hold this. And then they make it work. Icy Hot saw that last season where it was like the first few times they went down by those close losses, they took it really hard, but then they were fucking well-oiled machine the next couple times that they had single-digit games, and they won those games. So that would be my pick.
I like it. I think it's a little bold. I think
It is.
they're going to need a season till they hit that stride.
They might. They
I
might.
love them all, but I don't know. I think it's Lads on Tours to lose right now.
True. Milo, Louis, Colin, Yanni, like so many guys that are invite players, gold players. A team that was very close to being a gold team. I'm pretty sure that I said they were a
could be
gold team
if they wanted to.
Yeah. Chi as well. I forgot Chi's on this team as well. Fuck. That is a good team. I would. You're right. Like when it comes down to it on paper, that team, just position by position, like Yanni can outsnipe anybody. Colin can outrifle anybody. Milo can out-heavy anybody. He's got Chi on his wing too, who knows how to play support as a heavy, and do his job really well so that Milo can get the most space possible. Louis, I saw in the draft playing on a team with him, like, even if you don't see the numbers out of him, like he's not 40 and 15 or whatever, a couple times a match he will go off and kill like 5 people like that. And that's kind of where his value comes in, is he's the guy who, when you need to hold, yeah, he is. He's a big time streaker. When you need to hold a flag or push, yeah, he's so good at it. Like it comes out of nowhere. He'll be like,
he is surprisingly very good at DoD, especially getting on those streaks, getting on those runs.
It kept happening. It would blow me away. I'd be like, looking at the scoreboard, and he's like 15 and 15, and like last alive, holding mid on Anzio, and then like all of a sudden the death notice is just like Louis. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? It was like car, pistol, car, pistol, pistol, car. Like it just happens. He's nuts.
He's a very good car. If he can get his grand side up to that car level, might be one of the better rifles in silver.
And that could be a very, very dangerous rifle combo between him and Colin if they get that shit going. Like, watch out, everybody else in silver. Watch out, No-Go, effectively defending your silver title. Those guys are coming for it.
And like you said, Milo, one of the best players in the game when he's really trying. So
yep, he was dropping 90s in gold last season. So
yep, when he hits that extra gear, he doesn't really hit it that often anymore because he's really just out there having a good time. But when he wants it, he's gonna go get it.
He will get it.
Upsetting to be on the other end of it.
Ugh, it's so hard to hit him.
And like you said, Chi, that's gonna be a good pairing if they do end up having together.
Yeah, big time. I like that heavy duo. I just like the makeup of that team. It strikes me as a winner.
Yeah, and Toki's underrated too.
Yeah, another gold player. They're made up of their starting lineup will be at least 5 guys who played in gold in one of the last 2 seasons. So it's strong. Yeah. But I mean,
matchup.
Then you got Clinic too, and
and I was originally gonna say it's Clinic until I looked at this Lads on Tour roster.
It's tough, man. It's tough, and No-Go literally are basically Price is Right with Austin on the team, and Spoon on the team now, who was already one of the best players in the division last season. So it's like that's another team that could be really fucking dangerous. Insomnia, I was just singing their praises of how much talent they have and how good they'll be. It's just
they got a KTP champion and Coffee Lemon Tea on the
roster. He wins whatever he does, so that alone might make them the favorite. It's nuts. I look forward to seeing how the whole silver battle comes out at the end of the season. Of course, I'll be casting as many as I possibly can. We will see how that all works out, though.
All right, let's put a bow on silver there. Let's keep trucking to gold.
Gold.
Before we jump into gold, though, I did want to get your preseason winner bronze pick.
Oh yeah,
okay. We didn't do that.
That's right.
Flew by that, and I think you're probably thinking nice.
I'm probably thinking nice, but it could also be washed up. The thing is, of course, nice just smoked washed up. Of course, they also had 2 ringers, so I don't know. It's kind of it's tough.
A toughie.
Let me look at the roster again real quick. Washed up with Bullet, War Within, Cody, Casino, Bromley, and then some combo of like Dark Knight. I don't know if Defrag is able to play due to Moss because he runs a Mac or something.
I didn't know where you're going with that.
Yeah. No, just he runs Mac.
Macs don't like Moss, huh?
Apparently, yeah.
Interesting.
I guess because Riv said he plays on a Mac, but I guess he's got Windows running, so he's okay to run Moss. I'm going to go with nice. I think that, I mean, that team is basically Fast Loris just with 2 gold players added to it. They came that close to winning last season before the big upset win. You got to take nice.
Yeah, I'm with you. Team's pretty stacked.
Yeah.
Not saying they shouldn't be in bronze, but it's looks like it's theirs for the taking.
I'm this close to saying they don't belong in bronze. I'm that close to saying it.
It's hard not to say it, but
Right? I mean,
I'm
that's
just
a good
gonna maybe
team.
the admins know something we don't
Right? It's
in
possible.
regards to that, but
Like on paper, just looking at the names, like that looks like a silver team to me. But they're in bronze, and maybe Dillard or Die Life isn't going to be as active, or maybe Hey Hi is not going to be playing much.
yeah, and like I said, I heard Dillard was not going to be around this season much,
Yeah.
but he was around in preseason,
So
so
yeah, like it could mostly just be Fast Loris back again, and they were like a bronze team last season, just the best bronze team, which is fine. Like there's a best team in every division, so like that's the thin line there between being like a dominant team in their division or being a team that really belongs in another one. But they are in bronze. I don't believe there's any plans to be moving teams up or down at all in the middle of the season. So they are a bronze team, and they are definitely the team to beat down there with, I would say, Romario, I believe is how it's pronounced. Romario.
yeah, that's a team that we haven't really talked about, but is basically sleepers minus Chi, right?
Plus Rafinha.
Plus Rafinha.
Right. Pretty
So
interesting.
that is quite interesting.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see what they do as far as roles.
Right,
What's
yeah.
Burn gonna do?
I'm very curious.
You just never know where Burn's gonna end up.
He could be thirding your ass off, or he could be sniping your face off. You don't know.
or he could be just rolling through train,
Yeah.
grabbing with a car. He's done that before.
Man could be sniping. Like they just have so many good players. I think that'll be the big battle in bronze is those two teams because Sleeper's obviously a team that made a pretty good run in silver before, and now they get to be in bronze, and I think they'll be able to get the better of most teams, and then them versus Nice will be the big like the heavyweight battle.
Yeah, I think you've nailed it. Nice Romario with Washed Up as your dark horse.
Yep. Because those guys also have old school players that they're not quite there yet, but if they do get there, a guy like ProStar who used to be able to really frag hard and invite, if Ben was gonna play regularly,
Yeah,
even
Ben's already proven he can show
yeah,
up off zero practice and
he's
take over a
nuts.
match.
He's nuts. Like the things that he was doing in the few matches he played last season was like, oh, okay, some guys just don't need to play, I guess. And Casino, another one who, I mean, obviously losing Arachnid secretly, that's the reason they're in bronze, because otherwise they would be a silver team for sure. But I think their replacements, if they have enough activity level, could be more than enough to compensate for those losses and give them a real outside shot at taking that bronze title. So,
Exciting stuff in bronze coming up. We're gonna be keeping an eye on it all season.
oh yeah.
And let's get ahead and get into guild.
Oh yeah, let's see here. Okay, so the first
Oh,
one.
big match here.
This was wow.
This was quite the match. Coming into it, I didn't know what to expect, and I guess I expected this more than anything. Let me just paint a picture of the first
Yeah.
minute, if you will. We come out, everyone's coming out guns blazing. It felt like a regular match
Right.
for about 25-30 seconds. And then they kill like 4 of us, and it looks like they're about to fan out and like cap out. And then Crod triple TKs his team in street. And this must have been either the worst state ever thrown or the most intentional triple TK. It had to have been intentional. Because it was so badly timed. It was perfect for us. I honestly was shocked.
Best
And
player on your team right there.
As soon as that happened, they just switched into full troll mode, and it was memeing their hearts out.
Yeah.
So my whole goal was to get tops and stats. So
you did it. You were the MVP of week 1 and goal preseason.
Actually, I was not MVP.
Who got the MVP?
No Name got it.
No Name got it. Okay. Well, my honorary MVP for top fragger. Because I think last season it was mostly like if you top fragged, you were the MVP, unless you like just got the MVP the previous week. So
now Louis' reasoning was obviously totally fine.
Yes,
he gave it to a guy who wasn't in a meme match. Which, understandably so.
Completely understandable. Yeah.
It's still real to me. Damn it, I'm still claiming preseason MVP for what it's worth.
Right? That's a 50 bomb. Doesn't
But
matter what the other
was I
guys were
shooting
doing.
bots the whole time?
Basically.
Yes. Was Polo Kun spinning outside of a spawn in a circle because his sensitivity was 6,000? Yes.
How do they have so few deaths?
Well, it looks like they reconnected right before the end of the second half.
Ah, smart
Just,
move.
Just one final fuck you to the stats as
Yeah.
well, you know.
Yep.
Statman Louis.
Sorry, Louis.
Unfortunately, sweet Justin Lynch didn't get the memo, so
Yeah.
he's the only one with honor.
He was
Whether it
trying to
be-
frag.
I'm sure he was AFK at that point
You would have to be, right?
because he just missed the call. Yeah. But
Right. It's like,
either
oh,
way,
I thought we were trying to win. I guess not.
I don't know if this is their plan going forward, but yeah,
We
we'll
are going to
see.
find out
We will find out indeed.
very, very, very soon.
But yeah, that's really all I would say about that. FUN
FUN.
pretty much sums it up.
That's hilarious. Okay.
And then Thunder Fart Hinder.
Yes.
Looks
the
like might
fart
as well just
finders.
keep trucking right down.
Yeah, yeah. So this was, another match on Sienna. The lineup was interesting for them. This SQ guy, who I think I've played against in pubs, and in what's that server, the FMJ. I wasn't sure who he was.
Sick was talking him up a little bit before the
Yeah.
match, saying he had pretty good aim.
He's a big
from
boy
what he could
pubber
tell.
for sure. Ryan was thinking that it was that SZ, the Polish player SZ, but I was like, well, it's definitely SQ, not Z. So I think it's a different guy. But he probably killed me like all of my deaths on my allied side.
Yeah, he was carring Solitude side, really.
Yeah.
Just kind of holding tight angles. I liked it.
Right? And he was up my ass over there. I had
And
to
watching him was kind of where I was thinking, man, this is reinforcing my argument on this side of the map is annoying as
Yes.
fuck to take back as allies.
It is. I mean,
when
there's
Thunder is having trouble getting out there. At
right.
times.
We had nothing we could do in some of those spots. I kept just like running into the meat grinder over in the lower allied loft, trying to get back towards the bridge to just be able to try to shoot anyone. And then like Z is kind of a nade trap. So yeah, it's definitely something that will be worked on, needs to be worked on.
Looks like Ryan went crazy.
Yeah, I think he had a rough Axis half because he was very angry for the entire Axis half, if I recall. Okay, so he was even, but he sounded like he was 12 and 50
Yeah,
based on
well-
the Discord.
Going even with the S2G can sometimes be painful.
Yeah, that's true. He was screaming. He had a really ridiculous shot on somebody where it was like he was like at double windows looking at market, and some guy like jumped up at car and he just like flicked 90 degrees and like first STG bullet hit him in the head as he was falling down. It was nuts.
And this is also Jules' rifling campaign
Yes.
going live.
Yeah, no Toxinator, so Ace was in as the other heavy, and Jules took himself on that rifleman, and I believe he top fragged, maybe?
Yeah, he had a really crazy KDA first half, 39 and 18.
Jesus. So he was like 67 kills overall, and Ryan was 66. Yep, Jules top fragged. Or wait,
Wow.
what's Brian got? 33 and 30, 63. So yeah, Jules by one top fragged over Ryan. Oh wait, what's J-Rod got? Did J-Rod do it? J-Rod as well, tied for second. Never mind.
So Jules did it.
Yep,
Kept the dogs back, if you will.
they did. And on the other side, Cum seemed like he was everywhere. Saka on Allied side was pretty frustrating as well. I think he was mostly going Plaza, and then like I'd run into him at Bridge every once in a great while.
So is this the new roster going forward? Is this what teams should be expecting? What's the sit rep on Tox? Is he taking more of a step back? Is that something you feel comfortable talking about?
Certainly this was supposed to be just for this week, but I think the idea is like if anybody wants to play, I'm more than happy to sit out and cast the match. So like it's kind of a fluid situation, I'd say, where nobody's like, I have to play, and if you don't let me play, I'll fucking fist you in the ass because I'm the Jaginator. I'm kind of like, I'd like to cast the Thunder match. I know originally Spec Ops was going to play, and so we were kind of like trying to have a little bit of a rotation so that we could have 7 guys playing regularly, but then he left for Rat Pack. I don't know how much Ace wants to play, but like anytime he does, we're all like, you can take my spot, whatever. But yeah, I think Tox, I don't know if he's going to be there this week. I think there was some discussion of depending on the day he might not. You know how he is.
Yeah.
It can
I'm
be.
sure he'll say he's not going to be there.
And then he'll show up, yeah, at
20
the last
minutes before the
second.
match, yeah.
Oh, I'm here. What, you thought I wasn't going to be here? Why? Because I
all week
said
I
that?
was going to be here.
Yeah. So,
Classic
it's
Tox.
typical. And for the other team, for Fart Finder, they did not have their full 6 as far as I know, because no Nightmare. He's definitely supposed to be
Yeah,
playing. I
or Big
think
B's.
I think hypothetically that would be. Oh no, Caffrey either. So yeah, they're missing a couple of their big boys in Nightmare and Caffrey, but preseason. I will be curious to see what their actual big starting six is and what classes everybody plays. Honestly, if I was them, I know, Mata's a sniper, but he can play other classes. I've seen him play other classes and do really well. And Nightmare is Nightmare. And I would put Nightmare on the sniper, and I would have Mata, third or heavy or whatever. Like, Mata can get a lot of kills with other guns. And I think it fits his playstyle a lot more because he's very fast paced and aggressive. And sniping, like in this day and age, that just doesn't work against the other guys that are sniping, I don't think.
It's hard to take the best sniper in the game off the sniper,
Yeah.
which was kind of when we were jerking around with you not sniping for a while there, season one, and I was
Yeah.
just like, this isn't working. Even though we were winning, it's just
Right.
like, it's not working for me
Doesn't
personally.
feel right.
Doesn't
And
feel
yeah,
right when Corey's not going for no scopes.
I
It's like,
gotta. It's my thing.
but this iFart team, it's like you said, it's got some potential. It's got a lot of big players.
Yeah, I
Yeah, the
think.
roles are going to be interesting.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's going to be. I think that will be the most dependent thing is like, what is everybody playing? Because Nightmare can play other classes for sure, and he can do all right. But as a sniper, he is like a huge X factor. And, I mean, maybe he doesn't want to snipe. Maybe he's bored with sniping. That's fine. He heavied for typical for a little bit, and they ended up switching him back because it was like, why don't we have the best sniper sniping? This is a tough situation because Mata's been on this team forever and been their sniper, but I actually think that Mata would be even better with another class. Like, I really do, just because of the way he plays. Like, I think he kind of gets stuck in between as a sniper because you're supposed to be, like, lockdown defense mode, and then he wants to push, and, like, no scopes, even when you're hitting them, don't hit a lot of the time because there's a cone of fire. So,
Yeah,
that's,
I don't see him giving up the sniper.
yeah, I don't
Is the
think he
bad
will.
thing. So then you got like four people trying to rifle because
Yeah.
Kumkum also wants to rifle.
Yeah.
I think, but he's gonna get put back on heavy.
He's
Which
gonna
I
end
know
up
he's
heavy.
not gonna be happy about.
Poor fucking Kum Kum, man. He just never
Probably
gets to
with
rifle.
Manor most of the time.
Yep.
And Manor's one of
Caffrey.
those heavies that obviously didn't do great on this half, but he goes crazy when you least expect it.
Yeah, he can go off.
Like he pretty much single-handedly beat Icy Hot last season.
Yeah.
On Nanzio.
He has seriously, like, explosive potential. He did it in the draft against my team, too, where, like, all of a sudden he just killed, like, our whole team 3 times. He did it at one point in this match where he had, like, an 8-kill streak, Like, he is very capable. And he can play that passive support role as a heavy, too, which will be good for if it's someone like Caffrey as the second heavy, who's, a little bit more crazy.
I don't see this team being unlocked without Caffrey.
They need
as far
him.
as potential. Like,
right.
That is one of the best heavies in the game, and I don't know if he's not interested, if he's just busy, but
I know he didn't have internet, I think, for a lot of last season. He had, like, moved.
Recently, I scrimmed him, not maybe like within the last month, and he was dominating.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Picked it right back up.
Picked it right back up.
No issues.
They get him. They find a spot for him. I know SQ's. It's really cool to see someone coming in that hasn't been playing that much, but that's for gold. That's a tough sell.
Right, and they have a clear, like, best 6 configuration that I think if they can throw those guys out there and be on the best classes for them, that they could be a team that nobody sees coming. Because No Name was like the big story with them always. It was just like, well, you got to deal with No Name. And then he'd get 80 kills, and, like, depending on what else happened, maybe they'd win, maybe they'd lose, it'd be a close match, whatever. No more No Name. I think that this team might be actually better with this lineup with no name. Not because, he's not a god, but because I think that the way that the classes could pan out and, like, mesh with each other, I think as a team overall, they could potentially be more dangerous.
Definitely. It's going to be more balanced.
Yeah.
And less, let's get No Name into a position where he can thrive and everyone else fill in behind him.
Right, because that's kind of how it was.
That was clearly not working for them last season.
They'd win, they'd win sometimes, but then other times, like the Icy Hot match last season, they were in control and No Name had like 85 kills, and then, like, they just had a lapse of mental fortitude or something where, like, nobody was at their first flag forever. And so Casey got a free ninja cap for like 5 minutes, and then they won.
They missed playoffs last year, right?
I think so. I will double check. I have forgotten most of what happened in Season 2 already because I am old. Where are they? Standings. Over 1, 2,
They
3,
barely
4,
made
5.
it.
They did barely make it in, yeah. Where's the little playoff link? Over here somewhere? Standings. I don't
I'm
know
not
where
sure
it
there
is.
was ever a playoff link put on this doc.
Oh, it was like challenge.
Yeah.
There it is. Found it. Okay, KTP Season 2 Gold Playoffs. So it was typical beat over and a best of 1. That looks like maybe an Anzio
Yeah.
or a Thunder.
Maybe a Thunder.
It
Yeah,
was
that's what I was
Thunder.
thinking.
Yes, and they had Colin ringing for No Name, I believe, and somebody else ringing. Like they had 2 ringers in that match. Oh, Walu. Walu played and
They didn't even have No
Untert.
Name in that match.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like, not really over. Colin, I think, top fragged or second top fragged. He did his job, but they were missing No Name, and they're still obviously missing Caffrey. So like, the problems that they had all season were still kind of there, and came up just short in the end. But they are a dangerous team this season, and if they can just get their lineup locked down, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with for sure.
I'm curious what happened with the No Name fallout on that team.
Yeah, I'd never
Whether
really
it
heard.
was- Yeah, I didn't either. And they just he left and he joined First he
T3?
joined Insomnia.
Well, yeah. And then
And
what?
I thought that was just insane.
Right? That was
Like,
he's going to
I
snipe.
wish you would have stayed with him.
All right. It would have been better for all of
Unfortunately,
us.
he joined T3.
Yeah.
But, they'll do what they gotta do.
They got their boy.
Might as well slide in with the rest of the names.
Speaking of the
Speaking
devil.
of T3, that's a good segue. Yeah.
Yeah. They beat
Who did they
Rat
play?
Pack.
Rat Pack.
I think I casted this match.
I think I caught a little of your cast.
Yeah.
Too.
438 to 283. I guess No Name got the MVP technically. 27 on Axis, but I believe he had like 40 something on Allies. 41. So yeah.
Crazy. He loves just sitting at that back of Mirage Cap.
Yeah, and just strafing back and forth behind the pillar.
Quick picks.
Treating it like CSGO, basically, like he's got an AK. And he killed a lot of people doing that shit there, too.
I think Flower Lad was JN ringing.
Yes, no Nick Patton.
Till.
Yeah.
No Patton.
No Patton. Till wasn't there either, so Bud got in as well. So Bud and Taylor both played. I think that usually won't happen. I think that
we scrimmed them last night, and Bud and Taylor were both playing.
Really?
As well as PDX, Leo, Till, and Patton.
Okay, so they had no Name and no Taylor.
Oh no, No Name was playing.
No Name was there. Okay.
So it must have been no Patton.
They might be running like a 7-man rotation even. They got 7 really good players now.
Bud's probably the odd man out when it gets serious, but I wouldn't be surprised if he also just plays because he's pretty damn good.
Yeah, he does his thing. He does it better than anyone. You know where he's gonna be, but good luck killing him.
Yeah.
He will make life hell for everybody on his route, that's for sure.
Not excited about the new T3 roster.
No, I don't think anybody.
They went a little nuclear with the No Name edition.
They did. They most certainly did.
They lost last season, and they said, this is what happens.
That's what has to happen sometimes, You come up a little bit short, it's like, all right, we got a clear thing we want to fix here. And especially because then Brandon left the team, so it was like, now we got a fucking hole in the roster, too. Who can we pick up? And No Name becomes available, of course. If you can pick up the guy who's leading fragger in the league, you're going to do it.
And then you got Leo, 150 ping.
Yeah, 35 kills on the car. What did he do with the Garand? 37. Did he out-frag No Name? I think he did. 68 and 72, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So Leo.
He should have been.
Leo's the MVP. He did have a lot of runs in that match, too. So I guess Louis, just watching the match, thought that No Name had more impactful frags or something, but
I think he also takes into account flag caps and top flag, both halves for his team.
Yeah. He was on that plaza cap a lot, and in street a lot.
Where Leo doesn't touch a flag.
Yeah.
Just running right at you the whole time.
Yeah, he is fragging. Nothing more, nothing less, baby. He will take you out.
That's what's scary about No Name is he's got the aggressive shot of Leo, but he's also got the mind of PDX.
Yeah. It's a scary fucking roster, dude. I don't like it.
The roster's fucking... I hate this roster.
Yeah.
It's going to be so annoying to play against this team.
I don't look forward to it. I mean, I guess...
The only comfort I could take is that No Name's up super late. And I hope he's got to get up early the next
That could
day.
affect him. Maybe he won't
I'm
be
praying for
quite as
that
good.
when I'm playing them, even in scrim.
Like that, I don't know what time it is in France at 9 p.m. Eastern. Maybe it's like
It's late.
midnight. Maybe it's like
Oh,
2.
I think it's got to be later than that.
I'm going to check.
Yeah, 9 Eastern. And I think he's in Eastern yet.
Okay, so it's 10:40 p.m. right now, so it's 6 hours ahead. So yeah, it's 3 a.m. there when he's playing matches. Wow, that's
Little
late.
late.
Holy shit.
Little late for him.
Good
I know
God.
they try to start right on time too because of that. So
That's nuts. Damn.
it's playing a match, going to bed.
Well, he's trying to win that ring, that's for sure, and he's poised to do it with this roster, you know? I mean, even though they didn't win
hard
last
to say
season,
this isn't the best roster.
yeah.
In gold. It's hard to say that.
Yeah, like you gotta favor that team. It doesn't matter what happened last season, it's a different team now, and they are scary. They've clearly come to fucking play now. They ain't fucking around.
They were definitely being a little too friendly with like P12. Nothing, as they should because he's their friend. But
Right.
now they're playing to win.
Yeah, this looks like
the P12 showing up for match days is over.
No, yeah, they're not letting anyone play without practice by the look of this, and rightfully so. Obviously on the other side of things, you had Spec Ops had a pretty good game. He's back.
Cody's back. Welcome back.
PB and Debo, of course. Debo cheating, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Moss.
Right? I'd like to see that.
Just to take a little peek-see.
I'm going to show my Moss right now.
Yeah, speaking of Moss.
I'll run a little Moss for everybody.
If you guys haven't taken a peek in your Moss folder, see what's actually going on in there after a match.
Yeah, you got
see all the screenshots it takes.
Bunch of screenshots.
Did you ever fill the auto screenshot when you were playing?
No, I didn't.
No chop, nothing?
No, it's very smooth. And then the log file. So.
And obviously this is jam-packed with a lot of shit you don't understand. But
no clue what any of this is until it gets to here.
It's an executable readout. You can see all the executables running on your computer at the time. This is kind of a keylogger, if you will.
Yeah. Like upright, so that's me going forward, and then because I use the arrow keys to strafe, and the number pad is my fast switch. So you see, like upright is me going forward and strafing right. Left click right, that's me shooting and then strafing to the right. Right number pad 7, that's my previous weapon button. Number pad 7. It's a lot of strafing.
That's your toggle wall hack.
Yeah. Right click, that's me tapping my crouch. Right up. Moving, number pad 4, that's my next weapon. 7-4, that's my fast. That's how I get such a pretty fast switch. 7-4 is previous weapon, next weapon.
How'd you play like a madman?
And then this is the recoil. I know.
No, it's is this from what got you into using arrow keys and numpad?
I think it was just like when I first started playing games and I was binding my keys, I was like, well, of course the arrow keys is what I'm going to use for upright.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really, I was like 11, so I didn't really think about the advantages to the left side of the keyboard, and I just stuck with it forever. 9 had to ask me. He was like, do you fucking use your arrow keys to move, or are you cheating? And I was like, no, I just use my arrow keys. It's fine.
Well, that's why I like this readout, is because if you're looking at this and looking at yours, you're like, what the fuck am I looking at? This guy's using numpad 42 times. He's fucking hitting left click with his right
so
arrow
weird.
keys. Like,
who does
you can
this?
Say, okay, let me go talk to him. Oh, he actually uses arrow keys.
There's an explanation.
So that's why I like this, because then we can go to people and be like, why are you hitting, K 30 times in a match?
Right.
What is K bound to? Oh, it's bound to this. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Stop sound. Like, oh, okay, I got you. And then the recoil thing, it shows like a pattern of your fucking pulling. I'm a sniper, so it looks like this. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think for some people, it's like a bell curve.
Yeah, I think for actual heavies and rifles, it looks a little different.
Yeah, I got from the draft here, too, so we can see. Yeah, see, this is me rifling. You can see it's a little bit more of a bell curve. Because, I'm rifling, I'm pulling down on my little Garand, and it's looking like that. I think most people's looks pretty close to this, besides snipers, who look, we don't pull down on shit, besides our PUD. Yeah. So that is what Moss looks like. That's the general gist of it, like it's taking little screenies, it's checking your butts. Look at that little green dot, that's cute.
That's nice.
So yeah. that is all that stuff preseason. And we should probably predict the gold.
Yeah, what man, I mean we're both in gold, so it's a little tougher.
Yeah.
God, I'm not gonna pick T3.
I mean, like, I gotta pick T3, right?
It's hard not to. Like, it's really set up for them to do it because
Yeah.
Thunder's getting a little laxed.
Right? We're like, we already won.
Icy Hot's Icy Hot. Why So Serious is trolling.
Why so
Rat Pack,
serious?
who knows? Fart Hinder, who knows?
A
It's
lot
like,
of unknown quantities as far as what their performance will actually look like in gold for sure.
I will say they're the best looking team so far.
Yeah.
T3.
Yeah.
With Thunder right behind them and probably Icy Hot and Rat Pack right behind that.
Yeah. I think that sounds about right. You know, Icy
then-
Hot is a team that can beat anybody. They proved that last season. Like, we had a very scary match with them on Solitude.
It's funny you mentioned that because last night, William Sick Blackwell started streaming his demo from that match on their Axis half. And I was reliving that our allied half, if you remember. I'm sure you remember when we're just like fucking pushed back to the one. We lost the one
Yeah.
like 4 times. And we're just
Yeah.
holding on to 2 for dear life.
So scary.
And this is after we scrimmed Solitude, so I was extra triggered. And it's crazy how bad that map is.
It's so bad.
And I'm gonna go on a slight rant here. I cannot believe we're playing it again this season. I
Ugh.
cannot believe we're playing it again this season. Like,
Th-
and my own team voted for it. Like,
Did they?
Yes.
I think we did too. I think that we
I
just
think you
found that
guys
out.
did
Yeah,
too, like-
Jared was like, "Yeah, I voted for Solitude. It's better than Saints."
And that may be true, but both of them are shit.
So bad. What about Armory, guys? Fuck.
Yeah, Armory just didn't even get a shot.
John
rather-
voted for it, I know.
And then we're taking Harrington and Anzio out. for
Right, no regular
Solitude.
season, baby.
Like,
Nothing.
I'm all about mixing it up, but let's not fucking play a Solitude. All right, well,
Fucking
let's
Solitude.
ending rant there. But
I will say Steve, I believe his next line of work is reworking Solitude. So
okay, that'll be nice.
hopefully that will become something that's more playable and acceptable in the not so distant future. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
You never
Steve does great work, so I have high hopes for that.
Right, yeah. If he does it, it will be good for sure. Like, that's all that we need. It's just for him to actually do it. And we'll have a good Solitude to play. It would be great if we could just delay Solitude for as long as possible and see if he gets it done. And if not, maybe just play something else instead.
There's options.
Just one man's, opinion.
You're just one man. We're just
yeah.
one Dodcast.
It's just
team.
a Dodcast. We just say what we think. No censor.
These are always, at the end of the day, our opinions.
Yes.
So
We do not reflect the opinions of the
we don't
KTP
reflect the
League
admins
or
we don't
their
reflect-
yes.
We don't reflect the general public of KTP.
Nope. Nor Toxinator.
Nor talk. If anything, Tox is upset that we're
Yeah.
talking about this stuff more than I won't even go.
They
that
want
far,
their
but,
fingers in the pots, all those KTP guys, and
Yeah,
we're
he doesn't
like,
want to stir in the pot at all. But you know what? Sometimes I feel like some of this shit needs to be addressed.
we're talking about it. That's what we
and
do.
and this is where we're going to talk about it at. And as always, we love to hear your feedback. So
Yes.
let us know what you guys think of Solitude, and let us know, what maps you might want to play going forward.
Right? What else is there? There's other stuff. CR44.
Because I'm a
That's a
little
map.
curious into how that all went down.
Oh,
But,
the vote
again,
is-
I'm not gonna come at the admins because they do way too much work to get all the shit that they get.
It's unfortunate in this case because we can't even blame the admins because it was a community vote. So the
Exactly.
players and even our players did it this time.
Yeah, I feel like it was. I'm fine with the captains voting, but I think the options weren't well defined.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. It just seemed like it got a little hurried, and
For sure.
And now we're playing Solitude.
I think there was maybe some hope that like Sienna would be ready earlier and that maybe that could be what ends up going into that vote as the new map to go in, and then it just wasn't. So it had to go into the preseason, and then the vote became like one of these really bad options. Which one?
I think people also need to remember when it comes to the new maps, it's a very long process. Like,
Yeah.
from conceptual beginnings to where Sienna is now was like a 2-month process.
Yeah.
And
it
that
really
was probably the fastest map creating process I've ever seen. Like,
Seriously.
Steve busted his ass on that. And everyone was giving feedback. Tox was helping him out a lot.
It was constant.
And that's with the man who's got a family and a full-time job.
Yeah.
And he still cranked that out. So
Right.
huge kudos to Steve for getting that done in time, because I know it was really coming down to the wire towards the end there. And
Yeah.
did not want him to be stressing out over fucking a DoD map in 2023.
Right,
He
no.
got it out and it looked great.
Yeah,
He
all
always
things.
he always makes the best looking maps.
They're so pretty. no matter what. Like, no matter how, even if this map had been like nobody wants to ever look at it again, like to play it, everybody would have wanted to look at it. But it turned out to be very playable. I think it's a lot closer to being like fully 100% realized playable map than I realized it was before playing enough on it. Like just looking at some of the things that I saw as potential problems in gameplay and then actually going and playing like whatever 4 or 5 scrims in a match, it was like, wow, okay, so it's not so bad in this spot and this spot, and like this definitely needs overhauling, but that wouldn't be too hard. It was like, okay, we're really close on this. Like if we could just bear down and get a couple of these things fixed up, this thing could be good to go.
Exactly, I agree with that completely. And just to come full circle here, because we've just gone way off the deep end. We're just both picking T3 for gold this season.
It looks like it, yeah.
Because I'm not gonna pick my team, and I'm not gonna pick Thunder, and you're not gonna do the same. So
Nah.
T3, probably the favorites.
Yeah, I mean it's just such a good lineup. Fuck.
We'll see what happens as we go along here. It's gonna be hard to take maps off them.
For
Running
sure.
into them in the playoffs is not what you want to do.
And especially if they're active, like that might be the only way that they're not the favorite, is if they're like, well, look at how good we are. We don't need to practice as much as we did last season, and then they're not quite sharp in their, their in-game reactions and responses that they're making and reads. So they end up kind of like falling apart in those situations, but god damn, like just looking at that roster and the kind of players you would never want to have to play against, and they're all over that team.
It's just like what few weaknesses they had, they've really shored them up going into this season. And the way they play is they let Leo and PDX create the space, and everyone else fills in.
Yeah.
And then they can play their game off that. And it's one of the most successful ways you could play DoD in 2023 because PDX and Leo are so good and so unhittable that they really just carve out sections of the map
easily
without much problems. I mean, they're getting like 40 kills a half.
Yeah.
They're and it doesn't matter that they're dying 40 times because their teammates are behind them, filling in the space, capping out behind them, and then clearing after them. And it's just a ridiculous snowball effect. That's the way they play. So
with a guy like No Name spearheading that as well.
And then you throw in No Name now as another one of those space creators.
Yeah.
And but like we said, he's so smart that he can actually hold.
Yeah, and he will. He'll lock it down.
You see him going like 41 and 19.
Yeah.
And shit like that.
He's like the anti-Leo in that regard.
Which kind of makes him the best rifle in the game.
Right.
So there you go. You add the best rifle in the game to a top 5 rifle in Leo, into probably the overall best player in the game in PDX.
Yep.
And then one of the best snipers.
Yep.
One of the best rats until. And then you got, I don't know who am I missing?
Whichever heavy in Bud or Taylor,
or Bud or whatever you want to throw in there is fine. Even P12 could sit in there. And be fine.
They'll be good to go no matter who they throw in that spot, really.
They booted Booten, who I'm sure only made them worse with terrible, let's all in train here, guys. So that's another plus. But, yeah, ridiculous roster. Thunderstack, too. I think Icy Hot's going to surprise some people.
I think Icy Hot will, too.
Rat Pack's definitely a team you don't want to play on most maps just because... just really strong players.
They have a lot of skill, man. Like that team is I think they could be the dark horse. Arachnid, I think will surprise a lot of the gold snipers with just how good he is.
He's taking that next step and he's getting up in gold.
Right. And that's how it should be. Like you do that well in silver, you should move up. And there's some people, I guess, that they no longer believe that, and they're just like, well, we won this league, we're gonna stay here, which is, I think, unfair. Look at what Clinic did. Clinic won silver. And what do? They move up to gold. And they know it's not going to be great.
And they didn't really want that.
No, they didn't want it, but they accepted it.
They didn't make a fuss about it.
No.
They said, fuck it, we'll do it.
That's like the way it works.
They beat Thunder.
They beat Thunder. Like, regardless of anything else, like, they went out and they played. And
regardless of me throwing for skins, they still did it.
They did it. They took us out on Anzio.
I mean, Thunder's only lost 3 matches in 2 seasons.
Yep, and 2 of those are to T3.
2 of those are to T3, and Clinic's the only other team to beat him,
yep.
So that's something.
Like, to me, that's the way that it's always been, is like when you are the dominant force in one division, the idea is that, like, okay, why would you stay down in that division just to, prove you're more dominant? Again, of course you are. That's, like, you're supposed to be improving and taking the next step, and then inevitably, getting to the best you can possibly be. So that's just one of those things that, like, bugs me Like obviously the team Price is Right does not exist, but a very large section of it exists on a team in silver right now. And I
I
didn't
agree
like
too.
that.
And I'm not and like you look at gold, no one's playing 80 hours a week in gold
No.
either. It's like some people, yes, are playing a lot, but as a team, no team is
Yeah,
spending
as
that
a
much.
team, yeah. It's
So
just
it's really not that scary.
no, it's not. And like to obviously, you come up as the silver champs, you don't expect to then go win gold, but like that's not the idea. The idea is you are playing up against better competition, you're improving. That's how you get better. You're playing against the better teams the whole time. And so you're getting sharper, you're understanding the play styles of other players a little bit more, you're getting the team play down until you're at the point where it's like the following season then you're a fine-tuned gold team who's going to then be able to beat whatever team you come up against. Yeah, I mean, I didn't love that, and I've been vocal about that since day one. That if you win silver, you should have to go up to gold. Period. That's
Yeah.
the idea. If you won Maine, Cal Maine, you were an invite team next. It didn't. It wasn't even just if you won. If you were in the top, I think it was 8, you got moved up to invite the next season. So, I mean, they kind of got away with that a little bit, but it's fine. I will be disappointed though if they just go undefeated again in silver. If that happens, like I will make it the purpose of my fucking
We're talking
life
about no
every
go.
day, yeah, to make sure that anybody who just won silver back to back is playing in gold the following season. Period. I will not stop
Yeah.
until that happens.
I do think it's a case by case basis since we're such a small community.
Yeah.
And I'm not, I'm with you. There's really no way of not being with you in this case, in my opinion. That team did technically die, but you're right. The
Right.
core ended up on another playoff team.
Yeah. They
Uh,
gamed the system a little bit,
a little bit. You they did lose Dilliard. They did
Yep.
lose
Taylor.
HXC. So big pieces off there,
Yeah.
and but you're replacing him with Spoon,
Yes.
who is one of the best players in silver.
Statistically was better than Taylor.
Yeah.
So it's
So
like, and then what did you replace Dillard with? Austin, I guess?
yeah, Austin or maybe Apple, which
Yeah.
you can make the argument that's a little bit of a drop down, but
Right, it's
still, and we'll see how they do. I think the Snogo team, we're probably being a little harsh because I don't think Corey
yeah,
Price has played much, and they're leaning on Bill Bassett a lot here. Not that
very
that's a bad
possible.
thing, but it's not a gold caliber roster. I
No.
think that they rolled out in preseason, but they could roll out a gold caliber roster. You are
Right.
right.
And that's kind of what like Clinic, Clinic came into the season after they won silver and we're like, okay, we don't feel like we're at the point that we're going to be beating gold teams. What can we add? And they picked up Debo. And when Debo played, they made them very dangerous. He was a big X factor for that team.
Yeah, and
You know.
I have a lot of respect for Clinic
Oh yeah.
for finishing out that gold season.
Right. To me
I
that
thought they were
was
gonna end up in the playoffs the whole time.
yeah.
Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But
It's
uh,
tough. It's
props to
tough
them
doing that. Yeah, the
for
fact
sure.
that they stuck with it meant a lot, I think, to everybody who's out in trying to make a competitive league work and, be what it's supposed to be. And I get that no go is not technically Price is Right. And like if they had been Price is Right, maybe they would have been moved up, but they found a way to not do that. But I had to say that for everybody else in silver right now who's like, I thought these guys just won silver. Why are they still down here? To me, I was one of the people saying the same thing. I was like, yeah, that is basically Price is Right. Like they should be not in silver, but they're not Price is Right. So technically, they found a way around it, and now they're a silver team. So that's where that
Yeah,
whole thing came from.
and honestly, at the end of the day, we just gotta let the admins do their thing.
Yeah,
And
unfortunately.
if you don't like it, there's always ways to go about it that are the appropriate ways of complaining or
Right,
voicing your concerns. And I maintain that direct messaging Nine Talks or another admin is probably the best way
for sure.
instead of just trying to start a huge
Spewing
cry
it,
war
yeah,
in a
in
public channel.
Discord, yeah. That is the worst way to go about it, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's how you don't get taken seriously
Yeah,
usually. So
trying
with
to
that in
incite
mind,
a revolution in DoD in 2023.
so just let's hope everyone keeps that in mind going forward. And let's go ahead and before we get into our predictions for week one, though, there was one more topic I wanted to bring up. And before I mention this, I don't want anyone to freak out. I'm not calling to ban what I'm about to talk about. I just want to know some. I'm curious to see, is there any physical evidence that VPNs are helping these high ping players?
I mean, so I have not seen anything. I just looked, obviously, I had it up on the screen earlier, like a cursory examination of it seemed to be like VPNs do not lower ping. VPNs, if anything, might make it worse, like because it's then bouncing you off another location. So it's taking even longer to go from you to the server or whatever. I don't know. I don't really understand the whole thing all that well. But yeah, it seemed to be that, like, in reality, there's no way for a VPN to actually make ping better.
And even if it does appear that the number showing up is lower ping, VPNs are affecting the game in a not good way, in my opinion. Like, I'm not, and maybe they would have the same lag without them, but last night we scrimmed T3, and you can always tell when they're using VPNs because they have to reconnect at half like
Yeah.
20 times.
Yeah.
But Leo was doing some crazy warping yesterday,
Yes.
way worse than I've seen. And usually I see PDX doing that.
I saw that previously in the day on Railyard, where PDX was warping a lot. It was like excessive warping for
And I
sure.
will say some days are better than others for them. Like some
For
days
sure.
you could kind of tell that okay, yeah, it's just PDX is normal shit, but this was an extremity. This was insane. This was like he's behind sandbags. I see his head. His whole body's in front of sandbags. I'm dead. Like instantly. Like he jumped over, but I never
Right.
saw the jump.
And yeah,
It was
there's no.
crazy. And one time Leo came flying out underpass at on Solitude, and Vertex was watching underpass, and this man did a full like 6 foot warp, and somehow
Jesus.
Vertex got the kill, which is super impressive. I wish I had that clip because it
That
was
is
nuts.
impressive.
He had a grand. That's how he got it. If he had a car, he was dead
Oh yeah, you're
because he's
fucked
not hitting
then.
that first car shot. He
No.
did not hit the first grand shot where he shot at originally, and then 4 feet later, here's Leo
Yeah,
like jerking around with his
out of
pistol.
nowhere.
So I'm not calling to like ban VPNs. I'm not even calling to like crucify these people or anything like that. I just am wanting to see the data. If it's out
Yeah.
there, I would DM it to me. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, I would be curious too, just because, like I said, in looking it up when I have, it's always been like it's not actually VPNs are meant to get you around restrictions on location-based things. Like if you want to watch Netflix from, like a China link, but you're in America because the Chinese Netflix has a show that you want to watch, stuff like that, that it doesn't actually affect your connection quality. Um, or the milliseconds that you're getting out of a server, because in reality using a VPN is taking that data and sending it to yet another place. So instead of being a direct route, it's taking more time to bounce from here to here to here. So like just empirically, I would imagine that that would tell me that it's going to make things worse. But maybe it makes to them it looks better. I don't know. I've
That's what
never
I'm saying.
used
I
one.
think it's tricking the servers or somewhat into pinging them from a different location. So it appears that their ping has gone down in the server according to the number,
Right.
but in fact it's not.
Right.
And
Exactly.
and the way the Half-Life responds to these VPNs, I mean, it literally breaks the game on server switch. Like that's
Yeah.
doing something. Like
That
that's not
right?
good.
That's why they have to reconnect every time, because they're getting those Gordon Freeman
Yeah,
models.
I don't know. It's just it doesn't seem like a good fix. And I'm not saying like I'm not coming at anyone. I'm just wanting to get more information on it. I'm
Yeah.
open to start a discussion
I
on
mean,
it. Like I
if somebody can give us, the rundown on the fucking Dodcast, I would love to have that happen, just so
yeah,
that
that would
everybody
be
can be on
awesome
the same page. Yeah. Because that is
because
one of those things that, like, people just say it. Like, it's just a catch all. Like, well, I use a VPN. Well, okay, well, what is that actually doing? You
we
know?
tried to get Dorito on a VPN
Yeah.
for New York servers and he said it wasn't helping and it
No,
was
he
just
said it
a
was,
headache.
if anything, it was worse.
And I know Sick tried it for a while. He's up in BC and I think he ended up 86 in it and just going without it because
Yeah.
it was not worth it to him. So from what I hear, it's and maybe they don't have enough ping to take advantage of it.
Right,
But
yeah.
again, I'm just curious. Like, I'd like to know what VPNs they're using. I'd like to know where they're VPNing to because are they just VPNing to Florida? Are they VPNing to New York? Are they
Right.
VPNing to like Mexico City? Like, where are
Yeah.
you VPNing to? I just want to know this information. And again, for the 15th time, I'm not coming at anyone with this. I'm just looking for more information. So,
Yeah.
uh, again, we'd like Corey said, we'd love to have someone come on and talk to us about it. I'm still doing more research on it, but that's really all I want to say about it. I don't think it's helping the game.
Yeah, I would be very curious to, like, have that really explain to me exactly what's going on there, and if it is an advantage or if it's a disadvantage, if it's potentially, like just a placebo effect, or if it's something that is actually quantifiably making things better. Because yes, if it's making your connection better to these servers and it's making the game smoother and everything is better for it, like that's fine. But if it's just like, well, my ping on here says that I have 120 ping instead of 125 ping, but in reality, because my data is now bouncing off of 3 different places, I'm actually lagging more, but it's giving that placebo effect of the ping says it's lower on the scoreboard, then that's a worse thing. So yeah, I would love to know the data on that for
And this
sure.
is just in regards to 1.3. Like, I know it may be better for like CS:GO or like World of Warcraft or some other game. Like, I know MMOs are a lot different dealing with ping, but I'm really just specifically talking about 1.3, and I guess overall a little FPS in general. But yeah,
Yeah.
because it may be better for like the source engine, but we're playing on fucking ancient shit here, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it's just weird. So again, looking for more information on that. Not trying to make it a huge deal. Just we're curious about it. I guess what I'm trying
Just
to
a
say.
query.
Just a query. All
Simple
right,
query.
that's all I have to say about that. I don't think I have any more rants on the books, but you never know. Something could come to mind. But let's just get into this season one. It's been too long since we talked about season one. Or sorry, week one, season three.
Yeah.
Not season one. Yeah, let's go back to
Season
season one.
3. Let's go
I
back to
got a lot of
season
things to
1.
say about season one,
We're
actually.
going to break it down for y'all.
Season three, week one, DoD underscore railyard underscore B1.
Yeah.
Little quick heads up, it is renamed to railyard underscore B1. We're done with
Yeah, it's
tests.
official now. It's an
No more
official
tests.
map.
If for some reason you have tests on your server and not B1, reach out to an admin.
You shit out of luck.
So you don't want to be playing tests. Your allied snipers do not want to be playing tests. I promise you that.
No.
So
Most
real quick,
definitely not.
the changes, Corey, if I'm not mistaken, the allied sniper loft is a little touched up nicer for allied snipers. You can get
Yes.
in there. You have some nice angles to hold now.
Yeah. No more
We
getting pinned down in connector from the Axis loft because you have no space to maneuver.
basically no more just not knowing what you're doing on
Yeah.
allies as a sniper,
Yeah,
because it
exactly.
was rough on the old version.
It really was. There was nowhere to go. Or there was places you could try to go, but you couldn't really get there
You
because
really
you're
didn't
just
have cover.
fucked. Yeah. You go white steps a lot, but then you just
Yeah.
get naded or picked. The white steps is also a little different now. The sandbag at the top of it was lowered by like 4 units or something because a lot of Axis snipers were saying that they were doing like 60 damage sniper shots constantly because of getting clipped off that sandbag. So it got lowered like a tiny little bit just to kind of try to mitigate that damage loss. And blue room, well, not blue room, but long, when you're coming out of blue
Boxes out
room,
there, right?
yeah, there's that double stack box like halfway between blue room and the second flag. So now you kind of have another station to try to get to rather than just being out in the open between blue room and the second flag and nothing in between. Like you're just kind of playing tag at that point. I think that's all the
I
changes.
think that is it as well. If I'm mistaken, we'll have to amend that next Dodcast. But week one, first match I'm looking at, Nice versus Romario 11.
Oh yeah, right off the bat we get the heavyweight battle. I like it.
Yeah, this is kind of a preview of the potential finals, right?
Yeah, that's sick. Wow. So I didn't even realize that when I was talking about it. Obviously, two maybe realistically they are the two best rosters in bronze, pound for pound. A map like Railyard on Nice, you got Stealth. The best sniper I would say in bronze, and he could probably be the best sniper in silver or gold if he wanted to, because he's a god. Die Life, somebody who has always thrived on railroad-based maps. Come on, Ride a Train. If you remember that frag of the week on
Mm-hmm.
Railroad One, he had multiple
Mm-hmm.
clips in there. Dillard
One of my
again.
favorites.
Right, I love that frag of the week. Lord Chambers killed that. But yeah, Dillard, always, assuming again that he's playing, but if Dillard's playing, he's nuts. He is one of like a standout rifle from last season. He just put on a show for everybody in silver. He has shit on me so many times I've lost count. You got Laura always doing her job, whether she's stossing or she gets the car. And then that heavy duo that has been playing together for the last 2 seasons in Stamp and Twist. I mean, you watched them in the playoffs. They had a great run in the playoffs. If either one of them can't play, you got Hey Hi and Red Dog to come in. Like, you got more than enough options on that roster.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that heavy duo. I think they've taken the next step. We knew Twist was always going to get it back, and Stamp seems to be figuring it out. He killed me while I was prone the other day and negged me, so he's really figured out the
Oh,
meta.
damn.
So that's good to see. He's really
Shots
coming
fired.
along.
And
It was. I mean, I was prone in obscene spots, so I wasn't
so
even
you
mad about
deserved
it.
it, is what you're
Oh,
saying.
of course.
Yeah. It's
Just
only
playing
fair.
my game. But it
Um,
was nice to see the neg. He's got the meta down. He's fitting right back in the community.
I know he has gotten tips from Ryan on like what mouse and sensitivity and stuff too, so he seems to be really trying to get shit figured out, like as a full-time heavy. Which is, that's what you got to do. You got to commit to that class. That's why I hate switching between sniping and rifling, because then I'm just in between. When I'm a full-time sniper, I feel great. When I'm a full-time rifle, I feel great.
Yeah, you just hate that switch hitting.
Yeah, the switch hitting, no fun. And on the other side for Romario, again, I'm not positive because out of these guys, like all of them have been starters on these two teams between sleepers and heavyweights. But I mean, I'm guessing Lobaton and Vanaki, Matt, LZL, Burn, and then I mean, is Rafinha gonna play? I don't know if he does. That's really good for them because he was so good in season one. You could see Mand
Yeah.
playing. He can snipe. Barinya, of course, has been so good. Same with Jiraiya. Zaps. All these guys, like this team, when it comes to the South American DoD scene, is stacked.
I'm not sure who's going to heavy with Matt.
Yeah, no more Chi.
Maybe it's going to be one of those rifles. Venaki, Rafinha, Barinya.
Ooh, Vanaki actually might be their best bet as that second heavy.
Yeah, he's been pretty good rifle, though, too.
It's true. They have a lot of rifles, man. All those guys can rifle. It's nuts.
Personally, I would put the Barinya Rafinha combo on rifle.
Right?
Not
I
only
do
because it
like that.
rhymes, but because they both are just good.
They are
And then I
so
think
good.
I would do what you said and put Venaki with Matt on heavy. That leaves Sniper open for burn,
Right, yep. Get
which I
Burn
think
that
this is
back.
a good burn map for him to snipe
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Although he's also a monster at train, so
Oh, you might. Yeah, I think they might just have Burn go train on
so he
this
may
map.
just be the third. Yeah,
Yeah. So
I don't
there's.
know. We're just gonna have to wait and see
Yeah,
because Jiraiya played quite a bit last season, if I'm not
he did.
mistaken.
He looked great.
And Zaps has always played well when he
Yeah,
plays.
he's been kind of like their seventh man a lot, I know. And then when he plays, he makes an impact. And
What are you gonna
LZL's
take on
great.
this with all this
Um,
uncertainty?
I obviously not knowing the exact lineup for Romario. I'm not sure the pronunciation. She told me what it was, and I've already forgotten if it was Romario or Romario. I'm gonna go with Romario, and I'm gonna
Maybe
say
it's Romario.
Romario. Um, I gotta go with nice. Like until somebody proves they're gonna beat them, I gotta just keep taking them because that team is so good. Like I said, I just lost the scrim to them like 3 days ago, so maybe that's part of the whole thing with me and Nice right now that they beat Jetty with me and Jules ringing. So I was like, these guys are so good. But just looking at that lineup, you got a lot of really strong players that are going to put up frags on any map against any team, and it's going to be tough to match that. But Romario certainly has the firepower to do it. I just want to see what they're going to be putting out there week to week as their six class wise and exactly who. And I think we'll get a clearer picture of that after this week. Maybe they just come out flying and this is their year. They've certainly continued to improve since season one, but I got to go with nice until I see that for sure out of Romario.
Yeah, I'm with you. Pretty much the same reasons. If we saw a preseason map and had any idea of the classes or roles, what's going on in Romario, I would feel better about picking them. But without that, I got to take nice. I think it'll be
Yeah.
closer than people think, but yeah, Stealth is going to be going nuts on this map. Die Life's probably going to be going nuts. If Dilliard plays, I think he was really good on Railroads last season.
Yeah, he
Seems
was.
like a good map for him. And like we mentioned before with our heavies, just kind of clicking at the right time going into this season. This nice team is stacked. There's just no
Yeah.
other way of putting
They
it.
are so good. I mean, goddamn, like it's theirs to lose at this point this season.
I think so too. But this is probably their toughest test out the gate.
Definitely. And they don't have to play again then until potentially the finals. Like, they're getting it out of the way right now. I kind of like that. having the big heavyweight battle right off the bat. So then it's not like they're fresh with each other. They have to like think back to week one. Like, what was it like playing these guys?
Yeah,
You
you
know,
just get in there and play your game.
you got to
Whatever
leave a
map's coming up.
lasting impression on them. That's the goal here, Romario. Even if you don't win, make sure that they felt uncomfortable in this match, like they could lose, and then you'll be in their head. That's what you got to do as the dog heading in. It was the same thing with T3. Like, even though we lost to them on Rail Yard, it was close enough and down to the wire enough that it was like, do we want to pick a railroad map again? Maybe? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so I'm with you. We're both taking nice there.
Yeah.
Moving on, other match in bronze is Washed Up versus Flossed. Both teams that
Okay.
took losses in preseason.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get on the right side of the board this time. Flost has a pretty interesting roster too, with a couple guys that King Yo, a gold player, Fincher was a good silver player, Shifty's a great player. Bo looked really good in the playoffs last season, and in the draft he looked good as well. Or no, was it the draft that he looked good? There
I'm
was
sorry,
some time.
Flossed won in preseason.
Flost won.
They won.
Okay,
They had the largest margin.
we're gonna lose. That's who they played. That's right.
That's
Yes.
right. So Floss did win in preseason, but yeah, continue. Sorry.
Yes.
Washed Up also has an interesting roster.
They do. And they were a really good silver team last season. They lost their biggest guns, but I think they did a pretty good job of replacing them. Casino Royale was a great player when he was playing regularly. If he's going to have any activity level, he'll get there again. Same with Pro Star, career invite player. It sucks not having Defrag Ducksworth. It'd be great if they could figure out some way for him to be able to play. I think that would push them forward to where it would be like them and Romario are kind of battling for that 2 spot instantly, I'd say, because Defrag was another guy who just was dominating in silver last season.
Yeah, and Insane's got to be the X factor for that
Yeah.
team. Is he going to show up? Is
it'd
he not
be-
going to show up?
Man, if they could get him going, oof.
Seems like a really big piece for that team, but I'm with you. They got some potential.
For sure. They could still, even
War
without.
Within is still getting better.
Yeah, he
every
keeps
season.
improving, man. He really does. I'm curious, because without Arachnid, I'm not sure what the sniper situation is. I'm wondering if War Within is going to be sniping for them.
That's interesting.
He
wouldn't
was
be
a
surprised if
sniper.
Bullet sniping. He's
You
sniped
could-
a lot in the past.
Yeah, you could see him snipe. I should check the
sniped
screenshots.
A lot of Cal Invite matches in his day.
Yeah, I've seen him on the demos that he's been posting, in which if you haven't seen Bullet's YouTube channel, he's been posting a lot of demos from the
I'll
old
have to
school
check that
DoD
out.
that are pretty interesting. It looks like, I don't have the screenshots from their point of view, damn. So I don't know who sniped, never mind.
Yeah, it's gonna be. We're just gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah. But yeah, point
Well, I could
being,
have done a little more research before this, but we like
Yeah.
to be surprised.
right,
too.
we're learning with all of you guys for sure. But
So where are you gonna go with here? I'm assuming Flossed, right?
I think I'm gonna go with Washed Up.
Wow. Okay.
Even without Arachnid and Secretly, who I loved watching those guys, and Defrag, obviously. But I think on Rail Yard, I mean, I could be wrong, obviously. But I just think the play style of Rail Yard, the pace of it, is going to favor Washed Up a little bit more. You have Bullet Fodder who can just lock down a route. I don't know if War Within is going to be heavying with them or if it'll be Pro Star. That's my guess, that War is going to snipe and Pro Star will be the other heavy.
Yeah, Bullet's gonna go train. He was molded
Yeah.
in the train yard.
Oh, yeah. You
So-
merely adopted the train. He was
Yeah.
born in it.
I've played train against Bullet. Not fun.
Yes, no.
Especially if you get him trying, like he'll keep it pretty PC at first. You prone him, it's over.
It's done.
You're
You've
not going to
declared
train.
war
Yeah,
then.
you better have
and
someone baiting you because
It's a
he's
war
ready.
you can't win.
So I'd
No
be surprised
fun.
if he didn't go train.
Absolutely. And then Bromley, who was again he really had some strong matches last season in silver where single-handedly he was keeping them in it or winning them the match. So him going potentially long, blue room at least on Axis with a Stas or a car, whatever it may be, he's a guy who can put up a lot of frags at once. And I just, Bullet in-game leading that team, given some structure to it, I think will help a lot as well. And I think that they'll be able to take it this week.
Man, you've almost talked me into it. But I'm gonna go with Flossed. I kind of like what they did preseason. I like if Fincher's playing. I'm especially liking him.
Oh yeah, he's great.
He's a really good heavy. I do
Shifty.
think it's a washed up map. I think you nailed it there.
Yeah.
They're gonna be more comfortable on it. Bullet's gonna be a pain in the ass if he's a train, and I'm praying for whoever goes train. But You know what? I'm swapping. I'm going washed up. Flipping on
Okay.
the spot.
I like it.
Going against my gut. I'm taking washed up with you. I think it's going to be close. I
Floss will
think
probably
Floss
win
has got a
now
lot to
just to
prove.
spite us, you know?
Probably. They're gonna Bojangles gonna hear that, but oh hell no.
Yeah, no fucking way we're losing this match now.
And props to Bo for putting another team together. This is
Yeah,
2 seasons in a row. He's managed to put a roster together, and big props for that. Thanks,
truly.
Bo. You're doing great work.
Right? The love for DoD is palpable. And, you know, a good collection of players, honestly. Like, that team, don't sleep on them. You got guys like King Yo who are putting up numbers in gold that, you know, they're going to be someone to contend with playing in bronze. Beluga, I think I actually played against him on this map in the draft, and he did really well heavying against Allen and Azilla in
Nice,
apartments.
nice,
So,
solid heavy team to do well
right?
against.
So, you know, I like they could surprise me, but I gotta go with my gut on Rail Yard. Now, if it's a different map, maybe it's a different story. But yeah, I gotta go with Washed Up.
I mean, you talked me into it. I love it. So
I,
I'm
I'm
going
I'm
taking
good
washed
at
up.
that, baby. You know it.
And then we're gonna lose is on bye.
Oh, okay, so
So
that's
free win for them. Congrats.
automatic.
Want to know? We're gonna lose.
There you go.
They're gonna win. Take that forfeit
They're
win then.
liars. Lying.
Lion Sons. Okay, but
God.
let's just keep trucking. We're gonna shift gears into silver now, where we do have a full slate. First
Yeah.
match: Clinic versus Lads on Tour.
Ooh, the heavyweight battle again there.
Pretty good matchup here.
God. So I mean, Clinic, you gotta figure. I mean, I'm assuming that Stark is kind of like the seventh man, right?
Yeah, he's been around too, so he might be playing.
Right. You never know with Clinic. They kind of run a rotation, but
Insom's always the question mark. Is he
yeah,
showing up? Is he not showing up?
if he does, it's bad for the other team though,
God,
because he's good.
Yeah.
That's
First
a
Sam always holds his own. Suave always
yeah.
holds his own. We've talked about Carp.
Oh
Candy
yeah.
and Tom continue to be steady old plow horses that they are.
Candy's another one too from playing in the draft. I mean, obviously we all know there's not many true natural third rifles in DoD anymore, and Sam is one of them. And I mean, the way that he does that job, not just his ability to get kills with the Stas and the Garand, but you know the nitty gritty parts of being a support player as a third rifle, like the Toxinator side of it with the nades and knowing when you got to hold because your team is like probably about to all die, being kind of clutch in those moments, having that semi-automatic rifle and stuff. He in that draft had a lot of moments where we could have been out of that tournament before we ever had a chance to win, and he had to stand strong as like a last guy on a flag or single-handedly pushing to cap out and shit like that. So he will be a force to be reckoned with as well in silver this season.
I think so. He's very good. The
So
whole
good.
team's good. I
They
mean,
are.
they played together for a long time. They know each other's
So long, dude.
tendencies. That's always a big thing to have.
Right? That plays out very, very well in a competitive scenario where you don't even really have to ask a lot of the time. You know what the other guys in your team are doing. So, like, calls become just sort of extra information. Thunder has that too. You know, you don't always have to ask.
I do worry about the early match for them since
True.
they're a lot of them are Western U.S. and
Yeah.
that's always a pain in the ass playing that early match on when you're
Yeah, that's true.
getting up at 10, matches at 11.
I didn't even think of that. Damn.
Yeah, that's one thing that's scaring me about Clinic this week. Lads on Tour seems to be pretty active right now.
For sure.
They've
Louis, Yanni, Milo, Toki, Timo, Chi probably is the
Yeah,
six.
I haven't seen them scrim a lot as a team, but I have seen their players on the team playing a lot,
Yes,
whether it's
yeah.
pugging, 12 manning, whatever. So active team for sure. Clinic also in the same boat in that regard.
Right? They are active, and Louis, of course, should get a special shout out here because he did the stats. He's doing the
Oh
stats this
yeah, he's
season.
Statman Lou. Thanks for the stats, Louis.
Yeah, so we would not have these stats otherwise because I don't think anybody really fucking felt like doing it again. But as you can see here, nice, pretty spreadsheet. He's got
Yeah,
all of it
I
down.
like the format. I think I told him that. So
No
good
Jetty
job,
lads on
Louis.
tour there, just to give everybody a look at it. Yeah, so we have these stats always, which is nice. I don't know if this has the like KTP rating on it. It does, nice. So we even have the KTP rating, which was
Very nice.
an original composition by somebody.
Formula. Who made
Yes,
that? Do you know?
I think it was J
Little
Rod.
little J Rod, little talks action there.
Yeah, like maybe nine a little bit as well.
Yeah, I bet Nine had his handprints on it a little
Nah,
bit.
but
Pretty cool. Very cool.
I don't. Picking this match. it's tough to pick. It's tough to pick against lads on tour because they
Yeah.
look like very poised to win this thing out. I'm gonna go with the old school though. I'm looking at the Clinic getting back to the league that they went undefeated in. You
Okay.
got some of these guys have like improved a lot since then. Carpenter and Candy both keep getting better. Tom, I mean, now he's been heavying for a while, so it's no longer like a class that he just picked up like he did in season one. I'm going to go with Clinic, returning to their domain, their kingdom, and taking it over once again.
Interesting. I'm gonna be going against you on this matchup. I'm
Okay.
taking Lads on Tour, and I hate to put the early match, keep harping on that, but like
Yeah.
that just is never what you want to do when you're on the West Coast.
No.
And I'm not even sure if any of them are on the West Coast now that I think
I
about
mean,
it. I know
Tom's
they
in Denver,
Tom's
at
in
least.
Denver. I think Candy's somewhere over there in that
He
area.
might be Central West.
The only one I know Insom is Eastern,
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah.
So I don't really know the rest of them. So maybe this is just a stupid point to even be making, but I am taking Lads on Tour. I think Timo, Louis, JN. I'm not sure what JN's going to be doing. And I hope he's sniping.
Maybe, right? Maybe he'll finally get to snipe.
The poor guy has been trying to snipe his whole professional Dave Defeat career.
Let
And
Yanni snipe,
and damn it,
guys.
he's not sniping. So we'll see if he's
Fuck.
sniping. Hopefully Milo's out there.
Right.
But the Louis Timo Milo core is just too big for me to pass up on this week.
It's a lot of frags.
And if they end up with Chi out there with Milo and Jan sniping, and I don't even know who the sixth could be, Toki or
Toki,
Don
yeah.
Luke. I'm not sure who Fat
Whoever
Guy
it
is,
is, they
but
are golden.
yeah, I'm gonna take him. It's gonna be close, and the map is gonna. Candyman could be the X factor going train because
Yeah,
he likes to get through train and go G box and start, equalizing, if you will,
he
from that spot.
does.
And having played him yesterday
That's
on a
true.
half in train, I was pretty impressed. He held his own really well against Thunder, and yeah, he got the G box a lot. Unfortunately, he got shot by you a lot when he got there
Often,
because I was
yes.
screaming at you to
Yeah,
keep watching it
G-Box!
until 10 seconds. If you don't see him, fine, he's at the one. But
I
yeah,
started going over there myself, just being
you
like,
did,
alright,
yeah.
if you die, I'm going to be here.
The sniper you brought over there got
He,
passed around for
yes,
like 10 minutes
that
after that.
was an
So I wasn't thrilled
unfortunate.
about that, but I was also refreshing it.
The worst part about that was like I was pushing up four-way, and then I thought I heard like you were dying at the one, and I was like, I think I just heard a second guy come through train, but then I was like, maybe I'm tripping. And as soon as I turned around, a Tommy came flying around the corner and took my sniper. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. And then we just played who's sniping train for the
Yeah,
next 10 minutes, and that was it.
free pass at the first flag to a sniper rifle. Have
I
fun.
was really being a shithead with that sniper in train, so I can't even say anything.
It's too easy once you get a sniper in a train
God.
car.
Caught Louis in the back once, but then he got me back second half, jumping over me. I'll have
Of
to show you that
course.
clip later.
Yeah.
It's infuriating.
Oh god, I can
TK
only
Rod right
imagine.
before it too.
Oh really?
It was just you probably heard it. He was screaming at me, and then me having a meltdown, and then
That's
Louis
the shot heard
again.
round world that he was
That was
talking
the shot
about.
heard around the world that I was talking
I didn't see
about.
it, but
Pretty.
I
I was
got
just
to.
trying to be Kellen, like when Kellen Wall's that guy in the Complexity movie, or
Yeah.
maybe it was Scorch or Chaos. It was one of them. But I was trying to do that, and I TK J Rod instead. So
That's how it happens
not quite
sometimes.
Kellen.
It could be worse.
Could be worse.
With a
At
bar,
least we
was
didn't.
it?
Yeah, I think he had a bar, and I think it was actually Chaos. Now that
I think it
about it.
was, yeah.
It's just that he's like kind of in the crater there, and he's like looking
Yes.
into apps through that little tiny pixel, and he just starts shooting and kills a guy.
Yeah. That is chaos for
But yeah.
sure. Whoops.
So yeah, final thoughts on Lads on Tour Clinic should be an even match. I'm taking Lads on Tour. You're taking Clinic.
Yeah. I think that's match of the week, probably.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's match of the week too.
Same with
Silver.
Romario and Nice
Yeah,
and Bronze.
little
in case,
retroactive
yeah.
match of the week.
In
thrown
case that
on
wasn't
there.
clear by me saying over and over again, these are the heavyweights of the division,
But again, that's we're split on that. Good luck, have fun. Those two teams should be a good one. Hopefully, you get to cast that one.
Yeah, I'm not
Should
sure what the
be
timing is.
Should be an early match. I would
That'll
think.
be early, yeah, and I think we're playing like some other day, so I should be able to.
All right, let's keep trucking in silver. I know we're a little behind, but Fuck Boys versus Insomniac. Oh my god, I just saw it.
Yeah.
All right, speed time. Fuck Boys, Insomniac. We've talked a lot about these teams already. To
have.
be honest.
Fuck
basically
Boys, we didn't talk about as much, so we'll talk about
Yeah,
them.
let's hit them up here. Again, Gall, big hitter
Yes,
on
he's a
this team.
stud
Good for 40 almost every half if
for
he's really
sure.
hitting the shots.
DB getting to snipe his natural
DB
class.
sniping, nice. Yeah, Hopper's
Hopper,
probably heavy and I
yeah.
assume.
Nicholson, I think, might be having with him, which I think is a better class for him than sniping.
Probably Reptar on the third.
Yeah.
He's been doing that for a
And
while.
he has been pretty frustrating to play against at times, too. He's getting better and better.
I've seen Big Bird playing a bit, so I
Yeah,
wonder if he's going to crack that rotation.
right. Whether it's him or even maybe they get Quack Duck out there, the guy we kept talking about last season, then he like didn't play again after we
Yeah.
mentioned him.
He had that monster week, like week 1, and I crowned his ass,
Yeah,
and then he never played again.
just disappeared.
So that's a mic drop. I kind of respect it.
Yeah, well, he'd already reached the peak. What more is there to do? He's
And
summited.
then, not sure who G is.
He is from 22E back in the day.
Okay.
He was on the Moose Knuckle roster last season as well.
Okay. All right. So moving on up a little bit to silver.
Yeah.
I like it.
Bumping on up. And then
Cool.
obviously, Insomniac Gamers, we did touch on a lot of talent with Sean, Illusion, Head Like a Hole, Gandhi, 9, and then whoever's the 6 between Hip, Coffee, Shreddies, all good players. They are a team that is very active, and that is obviously key in this day and age. They're going to be sharp. And I gotta take them because of it. Like they're playing all the time. They are getting better and better. They're guys who have history in the game as being impact players, and it's only a matter of time before they get back to that point.
I'm agreeing with you here. I like the Sean Illusion, H-Law, Gandhi 9 core.
Right,
Throw
so
any
good.
of those leather 3 in there. I think Shreddy's been playing a lot, looking good. Hypnotic's one of those wild cards. Sometimes he's just one tapping you with SGT
Yeah.
across the map, and he's going for 40 with the carbine. It's madness.
Gotta love it.
CLT, we all know what he does.
He's a champ.
He is a KTP champion.
He's the
That's
champ.
what he is. MVP season 1.
You go with like rings per year. There's no stopping how many coffees got.
The man is decorated. He's all about the
God.
jewelry.
He is, and he's decked out and flossy.
I'm taking Insomniac. I believe that's what you said.
Yeah.
So we're both in agreement.
Agreed.
There. Should be somewhat close. I don't think it's going to be like a massive blowout, but if Insomniac gets their starters out there, including Sean and Illusion, finally getting together in a match for the first time, those are going to be big kills, big streaks by those two.
Oh yeah.
And
I think Gall and DB will do their jobs and get frags, but it just
definitely
they won't be
just
able to
too much
overcome.
firepower.
Yeah,
exactly. Gall can only kill people so many
Yeah.
times before he's gonna get random naded or whatever. So
It's inevitable.
he is gonna be one of probably the highest rated players in silver when it's all said
Yeah.
and done.
Definitely.
But for this week, I don't think he's gonna be able to do enough.
Nah, I just don't
So,
see it. Could be
Both
wrong.
of
though.
us, yeah, could be wrong. Both of us taking Insomniac there. And last match of the week, this is a good one. Close to
Ooh,
our hearts. No Go
yeah.
versus Jetty.
Another one. That's another good. I mean, I'll cast this one too.
Yeah, this should be a fun match. I think No Go's obviously going to be a little more, sharp around the edges, a little more trained and just ready
Yeah.
for the match. But don't sleep on this Jetty team.
No, they've been playing. They're trying to scrim as much as they can. You got, I'm guessing it'll be John Gale, Steve, Modgers, Ian, Sapphire, and River Oyster. I think that's 6 right there. I don't know if Serge has gotten his computer set up yet or Frank. Busby definitely hasn't.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Surge in the Discord a bit. I haven't seen anything of Busby.
Yeah.
Everyone else at least has poked their head in, which
Yeah.
is definitely a good step forward.
Great
Except for
forward.
Frank Calise's brother. I've never talked
Yeah,
to him.
no clue on that.
Getting Riv, like we mentioned before,
Oh yeah,
huge.
huge. That
That's a
heavy
DoD
team
legend
is
right there.
That's a force of a heavy team in silver right there.
And if Alex Surge shows up and gets into it, you got the Riv Surge combo. That's a fucking
scary.
That's a 2006 hide your fucking
Right.
wife combo right there. Like holy shit.
And Matt is so versatile; he can play whatever
he
class
could
they need him
third, he
to.
could rifle,
Yep.
whatever. Like I'm sure he'll be filling in wherever needed. Steve on the sniper, just steady old plow horse sniper right there. You can plop him down wherever he'll handle it. John Gale's might be one of the most decorated land players in DoD history.
I believe
think
we've
he has
tied for the record.
You think you're tied with him on
Yeah.
land titles? I
He
guess he did.
that last land that I was on the team for, but then didn't bother going. That would have clinched.
Well, you
it
won
for
Web
me.
to Zone, but
Yep.
he won that last SoCal.
Yeah.
So that's probably where you evened out.
Yeah. unfortunately.
Yeah. Still,
But
big props to my man
oh
Jago.
yeah, and he's a lockdown rifleman, so whatever
And
route
we
he's
mentioned him
going.
before. Yeah, he gets some new hardware. He's going to be exciting to watch as he gets his
Yeah,
CMX back.
he's fragging on a laptop.
And back to no go.
Well,
Like we
they've
said
got the
before.
core of Price is Right, of
Yep.
course.
Core Price is
Recoil,
right.
Allen, Corey Price, and Bill Basad. And
Pretty big
then,
four to add.
yeah. And then Austin, who is a gold player for sure, been playing a lot more as he's gone on since he got back and getting better and better. I'm not sure, like, what, sixth wise, obviously, well, Spoon, too. We got to mention Spoon, top
Oh yeah.
3 player in silver. And then, Dedro, Coy, Apple, Blue, all these guys, some combination of them. I'm not sure what the sixth is supposed to be.
I think it'll be a little fluid, but it sounds like from what I've seen in their Discord, Corey Price is busy, so he's not
Okay.
really been active. I know they want to get him in there,
Of
but
course.
it's just not really been in the cards. So we've been getting a lot of Bill Basad kind of filling in. He may end up just being a regular starter at this rate, just because he's so
Right.
involved. It's hard to bench a guy like
Yeah.
that.
No, when you're there, you're there. You got to play.
Spoon and Allen will for sure be heavying
That's quite a heavy
every
team,
week,
too.
I think.
Yeah.
And like I don't think Spoon's going to be experimenting with a third this season
No,
as much as he would like to, but
that
he's going
is.
to be on that heavy because that's just what, he was put on this earth to do.
He was. That's such a good heavy team. God damn.
Yeah, rifles is where it's going to be interesting. If Corey's playing, obviously he'll rifle. Dro could be rifling, could be thirding.
Yeah.
He could be sniping,
Right.
Recoil, he's not afraid to rifle.
Nope. Got him and Austin both can
And I
rifle
think
or
Austin
snipe.
will probably be rifling permanently, would be my
Yeah.
guess. Because if you got recoil, I feel like he should be sniping.
Yeah,
Really good
absolutely.
sniper.
And Austin is somebody that rifled very successfully in the past. If he just commits to the rifling, don't snipe in 12 mans, don't snipe in scrims. I know you like it. I'm the same way, but just don't do it. Just only rifle for like the
Just grind
next,
out
yeah.
100 hours of rifling,
You'll be
get
right
it
back
back.
to that point, yeah, where you're, getting 45 kills a half with rifles. Like, it's not going to take long. You just got to fully commit to it.
And he may be the best sniper on the roster.
Yeah.
But he's a better rifle, I think, than
Then
their other
yeah.
snipers rifling. That's
Right,
just
it's one
kind
of
of where I ended up.
those.
It's kind of what happened last season when he had Hildy on his team.
Exactly, yeah.
Before he moved on to Icy Hot.
Yeah, and I know that in that case it was because he wanted to snipe. He didn't want to rifle. It's just one of those things. You just gotta commit to getting the rifle reps in. As much as it sucks and it's not gonna be fun at first, like eventually you'll get those mechanics and the feel for it back, where you'll be like, oh wow, I'm shitting on people with a rifle like I used to. Like it takes a bit, but you will get there.
So who are you taking?
Oof. I mean, it's tough to pick against No-Go here. The Jetty guys are still in their infancy and getting back to activity levels right now. And if this is a few weeks from now, I'd probably take Jetty. But
I was thinking the same thing.
yeah, at this stage, like Jetty's just gotta stick to the script and keep playing and getting the reps, get Riv in there, getting Ian in there, just get Steve in there, like all the guys who have not been around for however long now that need to get those reps back. That's what the scrims are for. Because right now it's just like it's brand new again. It's like getting those training wheels taken off. You need to get, a few weeks of scrims back together, and then those guys are going to hit their stride and they're going to be scary. But right now, No Go clearly more active. 4 players from the silver winning team last season, regardless of how many of them end up actually playing. Everybody's active and sharp and ready to go for the season, so you got to take them right now. It's just a scary looking roster in silver.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you here. Jetty's got, I would say, 4 people that are comfortable just jumping in a server playing a match right now, where No-Go has like 8.
Yeah.
So it's just a little too lopsided. Jetty's gonna figure it out if they can stay motivated and they're having fun. And like you said, a few weeks from now, it's gonna be a different looking team. But week 1, I'm gonna go with No-Go right there with you for the same reasons you mentioned.
Yeah, and I fully expect that Jetty will be one of the teams to beat by the end of the season in
Yeah,
silver.
they're gonna end up in the top 3.
Yeah, for sure. There's no doubt in my mind about it. They just need another couple weeks of, and they're scrimming consistently right now. And that's all. As long as they keep doing that, even if it's not as much as it's been, as long as it's a couple times a week, like they're gonna be fucking golden so soon. It does not take long for players of that caliber to get it back together. So
And it looks like Riv's gonna be a solid fit. So really, they're just
yeah,
looking for that 6th spot of someone
Right.
who can at least be active, and
Yeah.
I think they're going to find it. Whether it's Frank Calise, it's Ian, it's
Surge.
Surge. Yeah, I don't think it'll be Busby, but one of those three will probably come forward for it.
Yeah. Sounds like definitely not Busby. Could surprise us, but it sounds like he just doesn't have the time for it.
Yeah,
So,
and they could always hot boot Busby and grab someone else
yeah,
as that six. That's definitely an option.
there is options. Sexual Mayo, Pollock, both of them pop back
Yeah, both of
up in the
those popped in
West.
yesterday.
Yep.
That was crazy.
You got more and more old school DoD legends just showing up out of nowhere again. Soon we'll have
Yeah.
27 teams, and we'll be hashtag DoD for CPL.
That'll put a bow on silver for week 1. And
It
again, we are
will?
both taking Nogo over Jetty, so let's just go
Yes,
ahead and
yes.
get into that gold. Getting in gold.
There they are.
First
Ooh.
match, Rat Pack versus Fart Hinder. Now,
Ooh.
is it Fart Hinder
You
or
know,
Finder?
I was curious if it was Farthinder, if it was Fart Hinder, if it was Fart Finder. I think it's Fart Hinder.
It says Fart Hinder.
Yeah.
I kind of liked Fart Finder.
I know.
I'm
To
not gonna
me,
lie.
that sounded like a fun activity, trying to
Got
find the
excited when
fart.
you said that.
Yeah, now
Full
it's like
disclosure,
Fart
but now they're
Hinder.
hindering. So are they?
Yeah. Is that
Does
like
that mean
a
they're holding them in?
right? Maybe, or
I'm a
maybe
little
it's like a
confused.
word from a different language that means something else, like sniffer. Like maybe it's
Well,
Swedish for
I'm familiar
sniffer.
with the word hinder,
Right.
but I'm not familiar with it in regards to farting.
To
I
farting, yeah.
guess.
Like
Now,
my ability to fart has been hindered by a
I
butt
was
plug.
publicly educated in America, so I know I'm at
Yes.
a disadvantage here.
At all
But
times.
I am an educated swine. But having said that, I would like some more insight to that. So
Yes.
if one of you hindering fart men or women could come forward and let us get a little clarity on that, we'd love to hear about it.
Please. We
Having said that,
insist. So yes.
interesting matchup.
It is. It is an interesting matchup. Now, obviously, as discussed before, not positive what the sixth situation is going to be here for iFart, but assuming something like Manor, Kumkum, Mata, Saka, Scotty, Nightmare, if Caffrey's not playing again, I don't know. Maybe Caffrey just missed the preseason or something, but they got a solid lineup no matter what. I think they have a
Jizz is
really
on there. We know what he can
Jizzy
do.
Poo, of course, even when he's playing with no sound, as he's made very clear to us with his alias numerous times.
It's just add an insult to injury.
Yeah.
I like it.
And SQ, came back and
Yeah,
immediately showed he can be a force. They're gonna have a solid six no matter what. They might have one six that's better than any other six they could put out there, but no matter what, they'll be fielding a solid lineup. Whereas Rat Pack, you pretty well know who their six is gonna be. Like, I mean, at least I think Arachnid, CK, PB, Devin, Debo, Spec Ops.
Yeah, that's what it seems to be their best six right now.
Yeah, and
Not
that's
sure is Colin gonna ever show up for this team. I mean, him and CK had a blood feud a few
They
seasons
did.
ago, so I'm pretty surprised you didn't see him on the same roster.
I know. Maybe they will mend. They'll make an amends, and they'll be a rifle tandem to fucking contend with. But I'm assuming.
Didn't love seeing our boy Grant Cody join this team.
Yeah, that was out of left field.
Yeah, I really thought he had that sixth spot wrapped up on Thunder.
Right? He just kind of he wanted to be sure that he would definitely play at all times. I understand.
I mean, you're preaching to the choir on that. I
Right.
understand completely on that front.
Yeah,
but,
I know. It's like the 7-man rotation, like, sounds fine, but then what happens if somebody wants to play?
3 weeks you're sitting on the bench and it's just like, man,
exactly.
I play.
Like,
and that's no fault. That's just human nature.
Yeah,
it is.
It really is.
You're being immature or something. It's just how it is. Like
that's why I was like, when he came to Ryan and said that, and it was like, dude, please. Like if you are gonna get your playing time that you want, like do it. It doesn't change anything, like you're still hanging out in the same Discord as us all day. It's like, so that seems to be why he went there. And he's thriving, the preseason match, he was the standout player on Rat Pack.
I hope he doesn't get a week for aliasing.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was playing as Danny Dimes, the
Danny
fucker.
Dimes.
I didn't even know who it was for the first 10 minutes of the cast. I was like, who is this? Fucking Danny
PB
Dimes.
was also playing as
something else. Something. But yeah.
Some American football shit.
Yeah. Some bullshit.
Some shitty team support, and it sounds like
God.
Shitty fucking Giants. Danny Dimes. I'm gonna stop there. But as far as this matchup, I'm going Rat Pack.
Yeah.
Just off the firepower.
Right. That's a hell of a roster, man. Skill-wise.
Until I see Caffrey putting in 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
I'm just not convinced that Farthinder has the heavies to match up with Debo, G Code,
Nope.
and Raven. People always
Yeah.
sleep on Raven.
Raven is a
The
great guy to
dude is
fill
like
in
one
roles.
of the most consistent like fillers that you could get on a
Yeah.
team.
He can even snipe if you need him to. Like, he can do it all.
He really just holds his own no matter what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. I've always thought Raven was underrated.
And on top of him, you got Secretly as another guy you can slide in there who already
Yeah, it looks like they
showed.
snagged him at the end
Yeah,
there.
what a
Good pickup
pickup.
there.
You know, if you're
Always thought he
missing
was good.
guys, goddamn, you get to just throw Secretly in there, who's a pro gamer in another game. Like, you know he's got the pedigree. So, yeah, just Rat
Here's
Pack
the
is
X Factor.
stacked.
Here's the X Factor this week. They're going to be playing on New York,
Yeah,
and they're going to be playing early.
true.
So probably no Debo.
Yeah, Secretly could get
So
in right away.
that could be not good for Rat Pack. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how Grant Cody's going to feel about getting up early for DoD on a Sunday. If I know
Right?
him, he's not going to be
He's
thrilled.
not going to love it. The
But
question
really,
is, who will be playing for Fart Finder?
yeah, that's also important. I think you're going to see Sakamata for sure with
Yeah,
Kum Manor.
Kum Kum Manor, yep.
Probably
Scotty.
Scotty. And then that last spot is if it's Nightmare, that's huge.
Huge.
If it's SQ, that's a huge drop off compared
Yeah.
to Nightmare.
You know, Nightmare
that's too big
is
of a swing.
#1 KD in the game last season. It was a fucking ridiculous number, like fucking almost 2 somehow. You know, if you get Caffrey and Nightmare in that lineup with any other 4, like that team is a very different team, I think. But I don't know. I haven't seen Caffrey play, and Nightmare was obviously missing for the preseason. So I just gotta assume that there's some kind of activity issue there where they're not going to be around all the time, and assume that they're not playing until I see otherwise.
That's where I'm at too. And if I knew they were both playing, I may be taking them this week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a fucking strong team with those 2 guys in there. God damn. I don't want to play those guys. With or without No Name, like having Caffrey and Nightmare and Sokka and Kum Kum and Mata and Manor all to contend with. Or Jizz or SQ, whoever, Scotty. All these names of guys that are tough to play against no matter what. But
also there's a little traffic jam on the rifle for Rat Pack.
True.
I'm not sure what Devin's doing. Is he sniping? Have we forced Arachnid into a
Arachnid's
third
gotta
rifle
snipe,
roll?
right? I think Devin would probably third in this case.
Devin's not really 1 to 3rd, I would think, especially on this map.
If
Like,
I
you're gonna
was
send
leading
Devin
that
Train?
team, I would tell CK to third because it makes more sense to me than anything.
CK will go train on allies. He's always
Yeah.
done that. But on Axis is what I'm worried about.
Right.
Is it CK with a Stoss?
Grant could just go train on Axis.
Yeah, they
he
may
used to.
Yeah, that may be what they do too on Axis.
Yeah, Railroad 1. Because that's like that sniper clip I have on Railroad 1 where I get a car kill in 4-way, then I go trade my car with Grant who has a sniper, and then I go get the no scopes. Grant was going train on Railroad 1, so maybe he'll take back that spot.
Shout out Rusty in the community movie.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Great clip. The way he edited it, not the clip itself. He gave me a really great part of that song.
You got a couple of great spots in that movie.
Yeah, I submitted a lot of clips to that.
And then you're falling no scope on the fucking army team.
Oh yeah,
right
on Railroad 1.
clip.
Yeah, the
So
Lennon
everyone's like,
frags.
"Holy shit!" And then it's like, "Oh, here's this asshole." And
then
it's
you hit
over.
4 flick shots through 3 walls.
Yeah, it was. One was pretty crazy. The other, pretty I mean, I wasted a whole Grand clip shooting at nothing in that clip, and then Miller just walks into my crosshair.
But that's where the sinking came in. You got to miss some shots for the sinking sometimes.
Exactly. And that was a good song too on that
one. Oh yeah, Rusty killed it with that movie.
Unfortunate that band went.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Shit.
That's another Dodcast.
Yeah.
We'll get into the Lost Prophets.
Fuck.
Dave Defeat.
Piece of shit. That guy.
Time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I've had to erase movies from my memory because of that guy.
So many songs from DoD movies.
Ugh. But yeah.
Right, so
point being, Rat Pack. Probably
Rat
wins.
Pack. We're taking Rat Pack.
Yeah. But if iFart comes out with that 6 that we referred to, then that's going to be their 6, then watch out for those guys.
Another one we hope we get to see.
Yes.
This should be a big one in gold.
I really do want to. There's so many things to cast. Fuck.
Honestly, all the gold matchups are interesting.
They are.
And that'll bring us to our next one, which is one with a lot of question marks around it. Thunder versus Why So Serious.
Good luck, have fun.
Not sure what to expect out of this. I guess I'm taking the
Yeah.
Wills here. So, having played them last week, obviously we mentioned it. They were trolling to the max. It was quite the experience overall. Will they do that against you guys? That's kind of because I heard that they were only doing that because it was the map, but then I've also heard that they're planning on doing that every week. So
Right.
it
That
could
is the
be
question.
the quickest match of all time as Tox kicks them all from the server and bans them mid match. I don't know if that's on the table. I hope it is. I'm just gonna treat it like they're actually showing up and playing,
Yes.
and it still won't be that close. Their roster is full of great players
Yeah.
who all are really, really good Dave Defeat players,
Really
but
good.
I'm just not sure they have the heart anymore.
Yeah.
Um,
Previous to the proclamation of this is what we're doing, I was like, man, this team very easily could be one of the teams to beat in gold.
yeah,
Because they're all
and
great gold players.
their top five of Booten, Kaboom, Element, Pulkoon, and J Lynch
Yeah,
is just as good of a five as you could ask for.
absolutely.
And you throw in any of those other three, Crod, War Child,
Crod,
or
yeah.
Moosh, that they're serviceable. Probably Crod most likely. I don't think
Probably for
I've
the
seen
yeah.
the other two play much, but
Be the support heavy to a Kaboom there.
yeah, just let Kaboom run around and prone behind him. Like
Yeah,
that's the basis of a gold team. I mean,
right?
it's there, but they don't seem interested. They don't seem to care, which is unfortunate, but
Unfortunate
is also
indeed.
kind of expected.
They did tell us. They did warn everybody that this was
Yeah,
coming.
and I guess this is just allowed. We're gonna see what happens. Everyone's gonna get an extra bye week. I don't know. Like
Something's coming. I don't know what it's gonna be, but I got
I'm just not sure how they're enjoying spending their time like that. Like
yeah.
you're shelving an hour just to troll. I mean, I get it.
Douchebags. Sorry.
Thoughts from the outside via Steve Heisey. We always appreciate it, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
If they show up and play, great. If they don't, whatever, great too, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that's been the hot button issue of everything is people are like, what the fuck is this? What are we going to do? What's going to happen? And everybody's kind of like, well, I guess we'll see what they do and,
Yeah, I am glad
take
it's
it from
Thunder
that.
Week 1 because they're gonna pull that shit. Whatever, they're probably done. We'll see.
Yeah.
I hope
It's,
they play it out.
yeah,
I really do. Like,
I would love to see them just play because, to me, the thing, like, okay, if that's how you want to have fun, if that's your version of fun in the game, okay, that's fine. But, like, it's a competitive league. Like
yeah,
if
like
that's what you
if
want
you
to
want to do that,
do,
then go do that in like silver or
yeah,
bronze. I don't even
or
think
in a
silver
pub.
players want to put up with that.
That's the thing, yeah. It's like other people are taking their time out. That's the thing that it keeps coming back to for me. Is it's not like okay, this, and that. It's the fact that there's however many other people in the league that are separating time from their day to come play a DoD match, and they're trying to do it because it's a competitive league. They want to win. They're not playing a 12-man or a pub. They're coming to play a competitive game. So like if you're gonna waste people's time like that, and that's what your version of fun is, that's a problem to me.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
it just
there's
doesn't make sense.
like just go troll on a 12-man.
Yeah.
Like that's what they're there for.
The 12-man has a config specifically tailored to like if you want to use trolley guns and MG and stuff like that, there you go. Like that was the compromise to avoid this happening. And I mean it looks like the idea is like we're going to waste as many people's time as much as we can,
Yeah,
which is
and
unfortunate.
I'm not even gonna harp on this too long because honestly, that's what they want. Is
Yes.
for people to talk
It
about
is.
how they're shitheads. But
That's why I wasn't saying anything
whatever.
at all.
Props to Jay Lynch for not disconnecting. That's all
Yes.
I got.
Mad props.
Yeah, and I'm Thunder over them no matter what is what I'm picking.
Yeah.
So spot him 100, spot him 200. Last match and last
A big one.
match of the season.
Match of the
3.
week.
This is your match of the week, huh?
Yeah.
I guess it has to be.
It's gotta be. That is a big one right there.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
So you look at T3, assuming again Patton, PDX, Leo, Till, No Name, Taylor, or Bud. It could go either way. And then for Icy Hot, you got Jesse, William, Mitch, Casey, Tony, and Ben Hildy.
Hildy.
Okay, wow, that's so two really, really good lineups there, stacked to the brim. Railroad won, who T3 obviously they came out with the win last season, but did not look great on it. To pull the win back on the back of Nick Patton. Really, in both halves of that game, Nick went off on like 10 kill streaks. Yeah, like until those Nick Patton kill streaks, they were just dead in the water, and he brought them back to life. If they can replicate that again, of course, but of course, little different now as well. No Name in the mix, a guy who is going to always get like 60 something kills. But how far can that go? Icy Hot, they played a very tough game against No Name, and they were able to come out on top in that game just by the nature of having more team play. You look at the sniper matchup, Hildy was statistically like the second best sniper in gold last season, I believe.
Yeah, that was definitely a priority pickup for Icy Hot this season.
That was key, and that worked out very, very well. You couldn't have got a better guy there. And, up against Patton, who, regardless of stats, everybody knows Nick is like a top 2 or 3 sniper in the game. That's a huge matchup. Axis side is going to be the key for both those guys. They're both going to dominate their Axis side. Heavies wise, I think I would take you guys in the heavy battle, assuming it's like, it could be Bud and Taylor, or it could be PDX and Taylor, PDX and Bud. Just looking at the way the matchup plays out and how playing against T3 last season, and their apartment team had a lot of issues on their Axis side getting apartments back. Like the way back into the match for them was through 4-way. Like they sent like 4 guys up 4-way. Yeah.
Fucking apartments.
So, they can try to do that again, and if Icy Hot's prepared for that, it might not be so successful. Whether it be, you and Bees, or, I'm assuming it's going to be, you and Bees or you and Kanga, whatever combination of that, that those 3 guys end
All
up
I'm
in
going to
there.
say is I'm going train both halves.
Oh, okay.
They would Till.
So I hear you. I hear who the heavies be. Okay. So
Taking
you
them out
and
to the
Till.
local train car pub.
And if I recall correctly, in the Railroad 1 match, at least, you did win that battle, so you get the favor here automatically.
I won Railroad 2. He won Railroad 1, probably, because I had a meltdown. If you remember the Leo's ninja fiasco.
Oh, yeah, that's right, the Leo
he
ninja.
Actually wasn't ninja.
I forgot about that entirely, yeah.
And I'm looking for Leo for like 3 minutes.
You never know with Leo,
over
man.
Here. He's over here. And
he's somewhere. If you haven't seen him.
I still have no idea what he did in that 5-minute span, because he didn't kill anyone.
Right? He
was like running around.
It was a mind game, maybe. Maybe they knew. They were like, they'll look for me, and I'm not there.
And
I'm just chilling.
In their spawn.
Yeah. He's waiting for you to come out train.
If I could have that demo of his, I would watch every minute, because I'm still
so
super
curious
confused what happened there.
Oh my god. That's hilarious.
He did beat me that half on Railroad 1.
I think on Allied side, you had a better score, at least, than he did.
Yeah, well, Allied side, he caught me a few times with his little, I'm going to get out and hide in a corner and sound horror. But other than that, he was pretty much a non-factor. But he also played it really well and stopped coming train.
Yes.
And went up 4-way, like we mentioned.
I
did not punish that enough. So that was on me. I think I'll call Railroad 1 a draw, and I'll take the victory on 2, even though we technically lost. But I actually thought I played really well on that when we lost on Railroad 2.
You did. I think you top fragged, or at least second top fragged.
I tied with, I think, 2 other people on Allied half, but I did have that huge ninja cap, which got us back in it.
Yep.
And probably could have won us the match if I would have pushed up one time. Instead, I saw John Gale and freaked out and ran away. And we both got naded or something.
Oh, you gotta love it.
Yeah, just matches of KTP seasons past.
That's how it always goes, one way or another.
Well, who are you taking? I know you're taking T3, so let's just get that over with.
I was going to say, Jesse last season in his Railroad 1 match also played really well in Vertex. Looking, basing it off of having played against them, even in a loss, it just didn't feel like they had a great grasp on Rail Yard. Whereas Icy Hot, watching their match, they did seem to have a good grasp, at least one guy on each route. I think this will be a single-digit game again for Icy Hot. I really think it's going to be a single, right? With a butthole clencher.
With a nice 1-point loss or something.
You got to go with T3 and predictions just on paper until you see how they play with each other, of course. But I think that this match has more of an upset potential than T3 versus Thunder on Solitude. I think we're going to get wrecked on Solitude. I think Icy Hot has more of a chance to beat T3 here than we do on Solitude. So
T3 is nuts on Solitude. We scrimmed them last night, and
They're so good.
we're back to the drawing board.
Yeah,
Just leave it
I
at
don't
that.
know how to play them on that. Leo and Underpass is so good. Nick snipes the shit out of that map. Till, you never know where he's gonna
Yeah, and they didn't
be.
even have Nick. They had Till sniping.
Oh.
So, and they still shit on us, so it didn't even fucking matter.
PDX in fucking mid house is just up your ass. It's just insane. So
Yeah, they know all the nades.
Yep.
They're tough on Solitude.
Ugh.
Thank God I'm not playing them on that. But also they're good on this map, so
they are.
it's gonna
They
be
are.
a tight one.
I really do think it's going to be a single digit fucking game either way. And picking T3, of course, because look at that fucking. They were already T3 and now they have No Name and Taylor. But, I think that there's more of a chance of Icy Hot winning this week than there is of Thunder winning next week or 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see that like a ninja cap being the difference or a last second cap out as time expires just to make it fucking crazy.
I will say they've probably won 85% of the scrims against us with this new lineup, so we are still getting shit figured out.
I think they beat us like 90% of the scrims we play against them. It seems like we never beat
I'd
them.
say
in
it's more like
scrims.
65.
It's
maybe.
definitely more often than we win, at least. So
For sure, but it's closer with Thunder, at least when I ring or when I played with you guys. So
yeah, he's still ironing out the wrinkles on that lineup. So
yeah. And to be fair, they've added 2 new people as well. So
True.
Granted, one of them is the best player.
Is
in the
No
game,
Name, yeah.
arguably, but
true.
you could just plug him in anywhere.
He will
and
get
he's gonna be
kills no
fine.
matter what.
Yeah, it should be fun. Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I think
me
we're,
too.
Playing Sunday night.
Nice.
Default. Maybe
I
a
don't
little
think
later
that
than
we
default.
play default Sunday, so I should be able to do that match of the week.
Yeah, and I think should have HLTV for you if you want to get in on that one.
Damn better.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I think Bees is one of the best heavies in the game, and this is kind of one of his better maps. If he can get rolling, we're going to be looking good.
His mechanics are just so ridiculous. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's crazy to
like
watch.
The Hildy pickup, like we didn't really know what was going on with Bear. He's kind of have a bunch of stuff going on in real life, so we couldn't rely on him, which we wanted to, because I think he's a great sniper.
He is, yeah.
But I mean, you get a chance to get Hildy. That is legit.
Oh, you gotta take it.
5 snipers in the game, maybe even top 3.
He looks
really
so good.
Into it, and his style is just different enough to throw off all these other players.
Right?
I know he gives you a hard time.
I hate it. I don't like sniping it because he does this stupid. I let the scope come back up and shoot.
The old
thing.
quick scope.
Yeah, it's so annoying. Like you're not supposed to shoot that fast, man. Give me a second. I'm reloading. I had a fast switch, unlike you. God.
You can't. He's nuts, and he hits really good no scopes too. He's got that little no scope gene that you got.
He's an aggressive little bastard.
Yeah, I was pumped that we got him. Like I said, he was priority 1. As soon as I got on the team, I was looking at the roster and I was thinking, we need a big sniper. I'm not playing in gold without a big sniper.
I think that's what we were looking at it too. Is like Icy Hat's got to pick up a sniper, and Hildebrand doesn't have a team. Austin doesn't have a team. It's gonna be one of them.
At one point, we had him, Austin, and Bear, and we were doing the whole, 3 Spider-Men looking at each other.
Yeah.
Luckily, Austin, he wanted to take a step down and kind of get back to basics a little bit in silver, and then the Bear had all his shit going on, so it just kind of worked out.
Freed it up for Hildy. The best case, I'd say.
We did also pick up Matthew as a backup,
which is a great utility pickup.
Just honestly one of the best backups you can have.
He really
literally
is.
Play any position.
He will fill in and he will do it as well as you could possibly ask for out of anybody.
And I think, we also grabbed Spy at the end.
Oh yeah, that's right. And another rock solid player too. You guys.
And that's a heavy. So you just don't pass up a heavy.
No, whenever you can fucking get a guy who can actually heavy in this day and age, you just gotta take it.
So
There's so few.
We've been having a lot of fun with the new roster. We're looking forward on. I wish we weren't playing, T3 out the gate, but at the same time, it'll be nice just to get it over.
Yeah, you don't have to play him again until the playoffs then. So
I'd rather be playing them on this map, I guess, than like Shamil or Solitude.
Yeah, where it gets even worse.
Even though I'm trained bitch, but that's fine, If there's one person I've played a lot of training, it's Till.
That's true. It's been like a lot now.
Yeah, we've had quite a few throwdowns at train.
That is the train matchup.
Couple post-match words exchanged.
Yeah.
Other than it's all in good fun for the
respectfully.
Respectfully, as much as I could respect someone.
Yes.
It's all. It's so yeah. That's it.
That's
3 hours
it.
later.
Yeah, it's only 2.5 hours.
2.5. God,
For
Who's
those
gonna
of you that are still here.
Who's making it through all that? Is
No
the first
one.
question.
No one's gonna be
Nobody.
here when we're saying this right now, but we're just
Not
gonna
a soul.
we're gonna finish it out. I've had to
now,
pee
now you can say
for
whatever you want.
I've had to pee for an hour at least,
Dude,
like
me too.
bad pee.
Me
So
too. Let's fucking
yeah.
let's sign off. Thanks for having me back.
Thanks for being back. Everybody's been wanting this, so
Yeah, hopefully we can keep it going.
Yes.
And find some guests. Like I'm always down to bring someone on.
right, whoever we
Assuming
want, we
they're
can fucking
yeah,
get them.
exactly.
We
So
got the
if you're interested in
reach.
the Dodcast, hit us up. Not saying that means you're gonna be on it,
Right.
but
There's
we
always a
will consider you.
backlog.
We're always looking for good old land stories, something like
Yes.
that.
Anything
Yeah.
you can offer.
Thanks for listening, guys, and KTP.
KTP. Love you guys. Peace.